they brought them back.
Mm.
But like, no, Dunkaroos were not a thing that I had as a kid, and I don't know if it's because my mom didn't buy them or if because they were on the way out.
Yeah,
They weren't anything special.
We also like it's. I think it's one of those things
Dude,
that kind of wasn't in the South.
No, the Dunkaroo icing was straight crack. Like, I don't even care about the cookies. I would literally just stick my tongue in the icing. Like, don't even fucking care.
I mean, my signature
Better
move.
than the jarred icing, because I can only imagine it's just jarred
It was,
icing.
it was pretty good. My
Yeah,
signature move was just to eat all but one of the cookies without any icing, and then just take a mondo fucking enormous dip of icing with the last cookie.
So,
it
okay.
belonged.
Dunkaroo icing was like the flavor of regular icing, but with the consistency of like cinnamon roll icing. Like, so it was like that nice, like, yeah, it was like that nice, like, malleable, like it didn't get hard, like it was super, super easy to move around, but had the full flavor of regular icing.
Callback to before the stream started.
Oh god, no, that's we're behaving now. I should probably get on Roll20, shouldn't I?
That would be
That does help.
roll initiative.
I just go and grab one of my own die. It's fine. Old school, Dragon Heist.
Shit, what?
Look at Tyler
Wait, would it be,
dropping
would it be,
all three of
how
them.
many balls
No,
do you
he
think
had
that kid
two.
had? 6
He had
balls? Or
two.
2 balls, 3
Yeah.
dicks. Okay, so they're not.
They only-
Okay.
They
So he had-
only
so he
like
had 3 shafts.
I have
technically
like-
he was a baby, so he did not have much of anything.
That's true. He could have had 6 balls and you just didn't know.
I have like this beautiful sweeping orchestral soundtrack playing like this beautiful emotional song that I took from Icewind Dale, like the
We're
original
talking
song. We're
the
talking about
baby born
triple
with
dicks.
3 dicks.
Yeah.
Man, it's a scientific miracle. The baby was born with 3 dicks.
It's like Enon Zur's beautiful orchestral soundtrack, and
Okay, but what if like this is their first baby and it has 3 dicks, and they're like, "Wow, what a small chance! That'll never happen
Oh,
again."
no.
Second baby, dick sticks.
Oh no.
And then Enon Zur kicked in the door to the living room and started playing his magnum opus.
the Ballad of Three Dick Tony. It's like that
God
guy.
damn it.
It's like the fucking genetic engineer from South Park where he's like, "You'll see all my great creations. The 4-assed monkey, the 4-assed chameleon, the 4-assed greater albatross." It's just all a bunch of animals that just have 4 asses, and that's it. Oh man. I'm still loading into Roll20. It seems like it's kind of misbehaving, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
I
feel
think,
like
honestly, I think part of it is the
There it is.
there's way too many pixels on that first thing because it takes forever to get the resolution to clear up on that image.
I'm good now though. It's fine.
But I think that's part of it. So when I get you off that, it'll be good.
I've played on much larger maps than this. It's fine. I think it's just internet. All right, I'm here.
All right. Before I let me double check here. Make sure before I do like my introduction stuff that there's not like a big introduction to the module.
Yes, block text.
Yeah.
If you guys want to, if you go into the chat tab and you see the word "as," if you set your name to your character's name, it'll change your little icon to your character's icon, your little token.
I like my token.
Yeah, I guess you would, huh?
Where at?
At the very bottom of the chat tab, if you go to the word "as" and it says "as Josh" or whatever, you click on that and you go to whoever you want to be. It
I
could be
can
my
be
regular
whatever
token.
I want.
I can be
I can
Pestilence. I can be Nyx.
You want me to be an Aarakocra? I can be an Aarakocra.
Harvey Birdman.
You want me to be? Oh, I'm trying to think of things that aren't gonna like ruin things that are in here.
You could
A
just be
wolf? I can be a wolf.
Caldoggo.
Okay. There is some flavor text to open up the module. So we'll just do that first, and then we'll break into getting everybody to Bryn Shader.
Right on.
Icewind Dale has become trapped in a perpetual winter. Ferocious blizzards make the mountain pass through the spine of the world exceedingly treacherous, and this land has not felt the warmth of the sun in over 2 years. In fact, the sun no longer appears above the mountains, not even in what should be the height of summer. In this frozen tundra, darkness and bitter cold reign as king and queen. Most Dale residents blame Oriel the Frostmaiden, the god of winter's wrath. The shimmering aurora that weaves across the sky each night is said to be her doing, a potent spell that keeps the sun at bay. Dale folk live in a scattering of settlements known as 10 towns. The drop-off in caravans coming from the south and travel between settlements in this never-ending winter has left everyone feeling isolated. Although each town has resolved to appease the Frostmaiden with sacrifices of one kind or another, no respite from winter's fury seems forthcoming. For adventurers such as yourselves, 10 Towns is a place to test one's mettle and, in the spirit of heroes who have come before, leave one's mark on the frigid, blighted land. So, all right, let's go into. Let's do Zana first, since she's got he. Okay, Zana has the furthest to get, I guess.
Yup.
All right, so Zana doing through his travels into indescript town south of Icewind Dale. I assume it's not even cold there yet. Like, you're still that far south.
Of course not.
But so you stumble you stumble into I mean, the location's kind of indiscriminate. It's mostly I'll say a tavern. You know, because it's easy. And I mean, it could be an inn. Just basically, you need some dude to notice you. And
Notice me,
yeah.
senpai.
And so he looks at you, and he just kind of says, "Ah, you look a while's way from the pond. What brings you up here?"
Yes, I am quite far from home. And Zana just stops for a second, and then goes, "I come looking for plants, fruits, spores, mosses, molds, you name it."
Ah, if you're looking for that, I got something that you're gonna like in a lot. Get it?
And I imagine that it's kind of like Zana's standing there, and he just very slowly smiles. He goes, "Ha ha, lichen. I get it. It's very funny." And he just has this very genuine smile on his face. Like he enjoyed the joke. So it took him a second. Took him a second to get there.
Yeah. But no, any kind of pulls out this little post that you would see kind of like on a village square, like the town. It's a little posting. It's a little tore up, so bits and pieces of the posting are missing. But what you can make out is something discussing the traveling death moss, and it is going to be up in Bryn Shander.
Huh.
And he says, "Yeah, don't know much about it, but apparently it's some bigwigs got up in Icewind Dale. It's got this like dead little moss that you know they kind of take throughout the Dale, and you know it's people kind of check it out when they get the chance. Maybe this is up your alley."
Neat. I'll have to go look for it. Thank you, kind sir. And with that, I think Zana's gonna turn and go.
Like I said, these are pretty quick. Just basically getting you to this getting YouTuber enchanter. So
Yeah, that's fine. I like this.
basically it. We'll do spooky next.
Yeah.
Because it kind of ties into Big Feller too, since you're both in Lonelywood.
Got it.
And we're actually going to do basically right, like towards the tail end of your backstory.
Right.
Right where, what is her name? Your town speaker is Nimsy Huddle. She's an old lady that she's an old human lady. She bakes cookies and brings them to the meetings of the councils of the speakers. Like, that's canonically in here. She bakes cookies and brings them to the council meetings.
Good of her.
That's why she's unanimously elected to her position every single year.
Okay, but if somebody is like, hey, I made you cookies, I'm gonna be a lot more likely to do whatever the hell they want me to do.
But, no, so little Nimsy, just kind of sitting you down, because even through everything, she's still trying to be tender about it, but she's like, now, Spooky, I hate to do this, but it's, the rest of the town is, not really too keen on you being here, so, I'm gonna suggest that for your own good, you find somewhere else to be. We have reason to believe that on the outskirts of town, there is a cabin with an acquaintance that could help you. There's a big feller out there that is willing to take in outsiders, and if you make your way there, he may be inclined to point you in the next direction.
Out of character question, does this lady have, like, she's an older lady, so I'm assuming she, like, had, like, maybe a husband or a wife that has since passed away or something?
We're gonna say yes. It doesn't really, yeah, it does, so we're gonna say yes. We'll throw it in there. We'll say that she's a widow.
And so Nyx looks up and she's like, would you like to know what your husband had to say? She kind of says with, like, her token, like, creepy tone of voice.
This is kind of why people want you out of here, but go on.
He misses you very much, and he is proud of what you are doing in the town. And she just kind of, like...
God damn it.
She's just kind of, like... You can tell she's kind of dejected because of what, like, it's something that she's really interested in is being, like, outcast on. And she kind of, sits up from her little chair. And, Spooky is only 3'1". She's quite small, but her hat is, like, probably, like, a foot tall.
Yeah, and Nimsy's visibly having a hard time with this because while... this is some weird stuff that Spooky's into. Lonelywood is a very friendly town, so for and especially the speaker, like she's having a hard time closing her doors.
Right.
But you can see, like, it pains her to have to do this.
If you ever want to know what they had to say again, you only need to find me. I like speaking to the ghosts. I'm going to miss the ones here. They are very friendly to me.
And maybe in some time, people here will warm up and understand, and you'll be welcome back.
Cool.
But I can't keep the peace. Between 1 and 100, I have to choose the 100.
I think I understand. Tell my family that I said goodbye. I will go and make my way to the woods. I like the woods. And Spooky kind of, like, turns around and, like, the centrifugal force of her hat, like the top of, like, her little witch hat just, like, swings around, almost knocks stuff off her desk. And she turns about and goes, and as she like hits the entrance of the building out into the cold, she kind of like fishes a stone out of her coat. She looks at it, kind of clasps it in her hands, like kind of gingerly and delicately, and then puts it back in. She starts to make her way towards the town perimeter.
Okay. And as you make it to the edge of town, you do notice a blizzard coming in. So give me a wisdom check.
Save or just a straight check?
Just check.
Cool. That's a 4, Chief.
Okay. So you venture out into this blizzard, and I mean, it's filling in, like, the tracks behind you. You can't see any more than a couple of feet in front of your face. So you are pretty very lost. But it's about this time that a figure in the distance, probably like, well, I say distance, but probably like 20 feet because you have very limited visibility. But a furbolg, you notice, does see you, and he will have enough, and it is big feller, and his residence is not too far from here, but he finds you as a lost whatever you. I don't even. What race are you?
She's a deep gnome. She's a Zwerfneblin.
Okay. Yeah. So the little weird looking gnome you are does find you and is able. He knows the way back to his residence from here.
I think she like probably by the time he happens upon her, she's like already kind of passed out in the snow.
Yeah, and that would be fair. Because with that fail, technically you would have ended up being lost for. Let me make that roll. Would have been lost for 6 hours in this blizzard.
Oh, good. I'm glad that there's a mechanic to show us how fucked we are by blizzards.
Yeah, that is like in many cases dead.
Oh yeah.
We can join the rest of the World of Warcraft staff.
Yeah. Oof.
But yeah, so yeah, big feller, you do find this this deep gnome just laying in the snow not too far from your residence as you're making your final walk around before going in for the storm.
Okay, well, big fella will look kind of nervously at the figure. Hello? He'll walk closer. Give her a gentle little nudge with his boot. Look around. Look back at her nervously. Look around. And when it becomes abundantly clear that she's out cold and that no one else is around, he's gonna look around again.
Cold.
And then he's gonna scoop her up in his arms, and he's gonna wrap her in his furry cloak, and he's gonna carry her back to his cabin.
Your baby now.
So yeah, they go back to the cabin, and while Spooky was out in the snow for quite some time, she is still an Icewind Dale resident, so it's not as bad as it could be. So she wakes up the next day, and she's still weak, but she's gonna make it. Surprise! I'm not gonna kill you in the first 5 minutes of the session.
Oh God! Well,
I
as
was
soon
kind
as
of thinking, like,
It's like 6 hours in a blizzard ain't gonna do anything great.
Yeah.
the second that she appears to be conscious, big fella's gonna drop whatever the fuck he was carrying. Like he had a bowl of really thin soup with not a lot in it. He immediately drops that on the fucking floor, kind of backs against the wall in surprise, and then he kind of crouches, and then he looks smaller and smaller. Now he's about the size of a gnome. Aha, good, you're awake.
Where am I? Where is my... And then you see a black cat, like kind of perk up from underneath her hat, which I imagine has been removed by now. And this cat this pure black cat pokes his head out and unfurls a pair of little wings, like appropriately sized for like a cat, and kind of shakes some snow off, and he's like, "Oh, is the nap over already? Who is this?" The cat kind of looks at you.
Big feller will recoil again, but he'll quickly just kind of clasp hands and say, oh, kitty, uh, you were passed out in the snow. I brought you back here so that you wouldn't freeze. And he'll just hastily grab up another bowl of soup and hurried over, and he'll hurriedly root around in a barrel and pull out like a pickled fish. And here, kitty, here you go.
And Vanta eagerly takes it and starts just like numbing on it. He curls up and makes himself comfortable on top of like a barrel or something, just starts nibbling at it very contentedly. And Spooky kind of sits up, and her hair is without the hat, her hair is like this giant feathery mass of just strawberry blonde nonsense. It's like it's a fucking bird's nest up there, and there's a lot of it. So she just kind of like shakes around. She kind of starts eating the soup gingerly. I thought I was dead. I was curious about... Well, the afterlife looked very much like a bunch of snow. That's why I was sort of confused, but I guess it is not.
Oh, no. You were not dead, but had you stayed out there, well, So incidentally, the interior of this cabin, so one of the sides of the roof is kind of big and steep, and the other side is clearly at more of a slant. Like, this place looks kind of ramshackle in how it's constructed.
Right.
The floor is pine needles, but I mean, even so, if Spooky were to walk around, it's warm enough. Keeps the cold out. She has a cot that's laden with a few furs. It's comfy. It looks like it's built for like human-y size. And there's actually a couple other cots of such size, and then there's a huge ass cot in one corner that's clearly for a big feller.
Got it.
There's like trinkets dangling from string from the ceiling. There's a fire going. It's strange, but it's also very cozy.
And she kind of just sits up, eats her soup, and is kind of quiet about the whole thing. Just kind of still processing everything.
Okay. How far is your house from the main road leading into Lonelywood?
Probably 10 minutes off the main road. Like,
Okay,
there's
so it's not- okay.
there's a clear path, and like everyone in town knows, yeah, you go up there, and that's
But
where
you'd have
the
to
big
like
feller lives.
be going that way. You wouldn't just be like travelers passing by.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay, we'll just do it this way then. So, a big gust of we're gonna convenient, plot armor. A big gust of wind opens up the shutters on the windows, and in flies a similar flyer to the one that Zana had seen, and yet again, torn up by the weather. You see, various words. You see dead, and you see Bryn Shander, traveling red wizard. Just various words sticking out to you, and it kind of lands conveniently right at Spooky's bedside.
Well, it's good that it landed near her, because big feller just goes and he runs over to the window and like slams the shutters closed and make sure they're latched properly.
You are jumpy like spirits. She kind of like takes the flyer and looks at it.
Yeah, and it was almost, I mean, given uh your connection to the spirits and omens, it was almost predestined. Like this didn't seem like an accident that this kind of flew in right to you.
Mhm. Oh, and her weird little hazy eyes are sparkling looking at this thing. But yeah, she'll read the little flyer.
Yeah. Like I said, it's pretty scarce because the weather. I mean, it went
Oh,
through
the
the
weather
blizzard
kind
and
of tore
everything
it up.
too. Yeah, so you're getting scarce. You know, you see like dead red wizard, traveling red wizard, Bryn
Mm.
Shander.
Feller
But
will
it's
chime in. Um, well, you're welcome to stay as long as you need to.
Well, I thank you. I think I want to go to Bryn Shander. And she kind of like she like turns it upside down. She kind of looks on the back of it. I cannot stay here for very long. They do not want me, but maybe they want me there. Maybe there is more tolerance for what I do there.
That is a long way from here.
I have Vanta to keep me company, and Vanta looks up from his fish and kind of like makes like a very discontented meow. Like he very clearly doesn't want to go.
Big Feller will do like a quadruple take, just nervously looking back at Spooky, and then over the fire. Back at Spooky, over the fire. Back at Spooky, over the fire. Back at Spooky, over the fire. Well,
you
no,
would
no, no,
also,
no. You need help to get that far.
and yeah, I was gonna say you would notice just looking at her, she has not recovered up all of her strengths, so it would be a difficult trek for her.
You can come if you want, but won't you be scared?
Big Feller will cock an eyebrow, not understanding what she's even remotely getting at. No, no, no. I'm used to traveling in the woods and such.
Okay. I don't have any problem with you coming with me. I'm glad you did not throw me out in the snow. I think a lot of people would have.
The little big gnome will cross some say, well, I would never. That not very neighborly.
She kind of like the closest thing she can to a smile, which is like, you know, her mouth kind of crooks a little bit, and then she goes back to eating her soup.
So that note said something about a wizard, I think, yeah?
Yes, it says something to that effect, and how he is moving, and he has a preference for the color red.
Hmm. Do you think that Bryn Shander has healers and the like?
I don't know, but I know a little bit about medicine. Do you need some help?
No, everything is okay. I just, I think it might be good to go to Bryn Shander.
You will, if you did rescue her from the snow, you will note that her pack has like a fuck ton of just like random herbs and shit. Just for like to clarify, she has alchemist supplies, poisoner's kit, and herbalism kit on her. So she's like loaded the fuck out with like plants and little reagents and stuff.
Dope. Big fella will clap his hands together, say, "Well, we will need supplies," and he will scurry around the place, grabbing like several axes that seem to be way too big for him, but he carries them no problem. A big ass shield carved from wood, again, too big for him seemingly, but he carries it fine. Gathering supplies, backpack, yada yada yada.
Do you have a sickle?
No. I have a dagger, I have axes. Do you need an axe?
No, I like sickles.
Well, I have a dagger. That's as close as it comes, I'm afraid.
I mean, she has a sickle in her inventory, but I was like thinking that would have been cute. She'll pick one up eventually. I think I'll make do with just my spells for now.
Yes, we will need to wait for the blizzard to wind down a little bit, and he'll poke his head through the shutters that blew open. It'll close them in. Yes, yes. Just a little while. We can be on the way.
Okay, that is fine. She's just kind of, still kind of shaken. She's just in her little blanket eating her soup. Tiny little bites.
Alright, so we'll pan out and we'll move on to Pestilence. Pestilence has recently returned back to its. You're at Koenig? Or is it's not Caer Dineval, it's Caer Koenig, right?
Caer Koenig, yeah.
Koenig, yeah. Okay, I was just making sure it wasn't that. Which one it was?
Conan O'Brien.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
so yeah, you've made your way back, fresh from Baldur's Gate, as a ideological refugees of sorts. And it's kind of one of those things when you move back home after you like kind of right after you finish college, and you move back home while you're looking for work, like everything sucks.
Yeah.
And so you being a musician, are even though it's a small enough town, there is still one tavern that you kind of frequent. You're kind of in the local band rotation, local bard rotation.
Mm-hmm.
And one night after you finish your set, one of the other locals, who you recognize by the name of Vedi Ader.
Good. Yes.
He kind of approaches you and says, "Hey, good job tonight. I'd tip the bar a little bit more for you, but gigs have been scarce lately.
Yeah,
But-
I played tonight, and only tonight.
But hey, I got a lead for you. I can't make it because I'm a little mobily challenged. The old lady took the dog sled out, and I can't make it. But I got a lead if you're interested. There's apparently some sort of festival, some traveling dude in Bryn Shander, and they need some music for the entrance of this guy or whatever. Don't know much about it. Scarce gig, but definitely the guy who the booking agent, for lack of better terms, whatever, fantasy booking agent.
Yep, I'm familiar.
Yeah, he is. He's coming through, and I can definitely get you in contact with this guy. He should be here in an hour or so if you wanna talk to him and get some more details.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than here, no offense, but like, I gotta.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
I had something going, and now I have nothing going, so we gotta
Yeah.
get that started up, or I'm gonna starve.
Yeah, no, I understand. And Bryn Shander is definitely about as good as it's gonna get in Icewind Dale. I mean, it's still no Baldur's Gate, big time, but it's a living.
Yeah. Well, I'll go check it out, because I cannot stay here. Not artistically, not financially. So I'll talk to the guy.
And so throughout this hour, you've already gotten more than enough information from Vediator, but he just keeps going and nagging. Like, he's that. As much as you're trying to break away and do your own thing, like, he just attached at the hip, trying to just talking your ear off. And so you get through this hour, and he's like, "Oh, yo, there's the guy right there." He just walks in. As he walks in the door, he's like, "Oh, yo, come on, I'll introduce you." And so he walks you up there, and he walks you up there, and he says, "Ah, yeah, this is the girl I was telling you about that can definitely play that gig in Bryn Shander." And he's like, "I'll let y'all be," and you just visibly see this man that just walked in, like, sigh of relief of not having to deal with Vediator for another second.
I know, dude. I know.
She's like,
I hate feeling the Vediator.
Yeah.
What is
Ah. So, I heard you are among the best musicians in Caercannig.
I mean, that's not saying much, but I'd say I'm definitely better than this small town would normally get.
Yeah, well, that's good. I'm basically there's going to be this there's a traveling wizard that we're hosting, and the idea, it was an ill thought idea, it wasn't mine, but I got stuck with it, was to get music that represents each of the 10 towns. And as you could guess, some of the towns are a little easier to scout for than others. So given our choices, this hasn't been the worst town by far. That Dugan's
Glad
Hole
I'm not
is
the worst.
definitely-
Thank you.
Well, I'm not saying the hardest to locate. I mean, some of the small towns have had those hidden gems for sure, but like, Dugan's Hole, we're gonna get some hick music out of them, and we're all gonna have to groan through it, but we'll make it.
I can definitely take that gig. I am as mobile as it gets, and I am A-okay with leaving here.
Sounds good. We'll just meet in a 10-day at, what is the name of that? We'll put you up. Oh, come on, where is it? The name of the one tavern in there. Oh, we'll put you up in the North Look Inn and Tavern. The wizard where he'll be hosting isn't far from there, so the performance won't be too far.
We'll put you in the Adjective Animal Alehouse.
Yes, basically. Yeah. I got it. It's better than the ground. I'll be there.
Alright. And so he just, and about the time you finish this conversation, you see, Vediator, like, just kind of perk up, and he's got, like, 3 drinks in his hand, and he's just kind of, like, running, hold on, and then the guy just turns around and leaves.
Yeah, Pestilence is going to do her very best to just sneak behind that guy to also not have to deal with this conversation.
That sounds like a stealth roll.
Are we gonna stealth roll this early?
No, because I don't have any other dialogue for Vediator, and I can only do it for so long before I get annoyed.
Vediator, my god. I'm into it, though.
No. But, yeah, so, like I said, it's about a 10-day, give or take, where you're coming from, and, you all make your way to various locations to the town of Brinchander. Yeah, and so even throughout this whole time, the information on this wizard is very scarce, and what exactly this, one of you have something about a death moss, and one of you have something, you see for all various reasons, it's very secretive, especially for them to be bringing in somebody in a almost festival-esque manner.
Excited for the death moss.
And so you all gather into, well, okay, the 3 of you other than Pestilence gather in and just kind of enjoying yourselves throughout the various music sets. Caercannig goes about, I'm gonna say, out of the 10 towns, they go like 7th-ish, 6th, 7th, like far enough in the set that it's close to the actual main event, but close enough to that, but far enough that you can still, get done, pack up your stuff, and kind of make it back out into the audience. and so you do. And Tyler, you can kill the music too.
Oh, excellent.
So you make it through all this, and there's a silenced hush that falls amongst everybody while you're looking to what's going on. Come on. Of course it's taking.
Yeah, I think it's a play exclamation point play. Or it's like dash play or something.
Yeah. It's just there it goes. And so you hear a little bit of you hear the music kick up.
Oh, God damn it.
And you hear, all right, now's the moment you've all been waiting for. You know, he's come here from far away with the great wizard Dazan. We give you Dead Mouse.
God.
And he comes on and he's like, it's Dead Mouse.
Oh my god.
At this point, Pestilence is rolling her eyes, going, "Fucking shit, music. I could have done better than that, motherfucker."
Fucking Dead Mouse. Are you
I think-
fucking kidding me?
I think Zana probably just looks like very excited and then sees this person on stage.
Oh, but straight up, it is actually like a mouse that has been brought back to life. Like it genuinely is a dead mouse.
Big
Oh,
Feather
okay.
looks
Only one
mortified.
dead creature. Only one. Yeah, I have 3, so fuck.
Yeah, I think Zana's just very confused. He's like,
And you-
I was promised moss.
And during about halfway through the set, he points out and he's like, "Shout out to my creator, main man, Dazan!" And you just see a guy just kind of quietly sitting at the back table.
Spooky is captivated. And like she was whenever Pestilence was playing too, but like, you know, it's a fucking like undead man. And plus the song is called Ghost and stuff, so she's just kind of like so yeah, congratulations. It's now canon that Spooky likes EDM now, so that's like a thing I have to like play
this
in.
This is MDM, magical dance music.
Shut up. God damn it. Yeah, so she's just like looking with like her huge little eyes, her just like standing there with like just everything in the world has ceased to her except for this. She doesn't even like jump or dance, she's just kind of like staring.
Abomination. Ooh.
Fair. But yeah. So, as they finish up the set, and it just kind of fades, it's going to stop abruptly, but canonically it'll fade out.
God.
So they finish the set, and the place actually kind of clears out pretty quick. But it's not a huge tavern. Even the audience was probably only... Let's see, how big is Bryn Chandler? So it's probably a couple hundred people. But
Is
it clears
a
up.
gig that Pestilence has had in a hot second.
Right, yeah. But... So... Sorry.
I imagine Zana tried to leave and just couldn't. Like he's just too big with his shell.
Well,
So he'd
excuse
like
me.
turn
Oh,
and bump
no,
into
no.
people and
Excuse me. Oh no, I'm trying to. Oh,
and he gets to the door because he just moves slower than everybody else. He gets to the door about the time it ends.
man, it's a good
Yeah.
thing this place didn't catch fire and Zana wasn't like at the front of the pack or something. He'd be responsible for like a couple hundred deaths.
Yeah, so as it clears out and the place kind of gets quiet, you see Dead Mouse kind of mingling, and he actually approaches Zana, and he's like, "Hey, you look about as out of place here as I do. What's your deal?
Well, I was told that there would be some kind of death fungus here, but it appears
Jesus.
all I got was a dead rat.
God damn it. They this is a problem up in these hit gigs. They have this weird dialect where dead moss is what they say it, and it's been a big problem. I just want them to get.
Spell it Dead Mouth 5.
You can never tell you can never tell what they're talking about.
Yeah, no, it's a gimmick. It's a thing. Dead mouse spelled correctly was actually already trademarked, so I couldn't get it. But it's a whole thing. But yeah, it's led to some confusion. So I apologize. Here, let me maybe the main man himself, Dazan, maybe he's got something make it worth your while. But yeah, says, oh yeah, he's probably gonna make his way. He's probably mingling, gonna talk to the other talent. But yeah, you should definitely talk to him, and we'd hate to make your trip worth nothing. I mean, if anything, I can give you an autograph, And the whole time that you're talking, like on your side of the conversation, he's barely letting you get words in. He's just such a fast talker. But when you do talk, you can visibly see him kind of doing like the Zootopia thing, where he's like tapping his foot and running around, like frustrated by how slow you're actually talking.
He's like, yes, well, I guess I will go talk to them. Thank you for your help, Mr. Dead.
Yeah. And just to get everybody at the table, I would say he was probably talking to the rest of the talent, so he was probably making some small talk with Pestilence, doing oh yeah, no, thank you for coming out. And this is Zahn talking. It's always, I kind of act as the manager here. Dead Mouse is the talent, but I'm the man that pulls the strings behind him. He wouldn't exist without me. But so I have a good ear for these things, and you're going places, Pestilence. I can tell.
Spooky.
Yeah, I've been places. I had to leave places, and now I'm here. You can hear like the disdain in her voice for being like dragged to somebody else's concert as an opening act.
Yeah, I get it. It's you never want to take two steps back from your goals, but it happens sometimes. I hope everything works out for you. But no, for sure. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for doing your part.
For feeding me, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, there's only one of us that needs to eat, so it really helps with the bills.
And so Dazan kind of looks back, and he's talking to you, Pestilence, and he's are those friends of yours? They've been eyeing you for some time.
Yeah, Spooky has been staring at Pestilence from across the room, like, kind of creepily this entire time. It's like, she doesn't think that she's very noticeable, but, like, outwardly, it's very, like, she's just a creepy stare, like, not even, like, remotely trying to hide it because she doesn't think that it's obvious.
Yeah, Pestilence is just gonna go, yeah, I don't know anybody in this town. I just sat at a table with, like, a turtle guy. And then there's this girl who keeps staring at me. I don't know what she wants. But it's just kind of, you get to know who you get to know, and then you hope that a gig comes out of it.
Yes. He's like, well, since we're doing that, and he just kind of motions back to Spooky, and he gives her the, like, come on, like, motion.
I'm going to go talk to her now. I promise I will not get lost.
And she kind of, like, departs from Big Feller's side, and she goes up to Pestilence and says,
Can I talk to your ghosts, please?
As soon as Spooky starts pulling away, Big fella's gonna weakly say like, I don't think you. Oh, and then
Yeah.
he will, like, really hesitantly follow after her.
Pestilence is gonna go, yeah, you can. I mean, it's up to them if you want to talk to them. We're just a band, but for the most part, they don't come out until we play music. So if you want to talk to them, just ask them.
Oh, I see. Can you play music right now then, so I can talk to them?
I don't have to play music. I can just bring them out, I guess. Just ask them out, and so she asks them to come out, and they're fine with it because nobody ever really talks to them.
And Spooky immediately, like, goes over to Neil Spirit, Bootsy Killins, and Boo Diddley,
Yep.
and starts, like, asking them all kinds of questions about how they're digging the afterlife and, like, what brought them into music, and just, she's fascinated by these very lively ghosts of yours.
Yep, they are all ghosts of that I found vaguely around where I grow up. They all like to play music, not necessarily before they died, but maybe a hobby they picked up in the afterlife because you can get bored there.
They seem...
Go ahead.
What are their names again?
It's Neil.
Neil Spear, Boo Diddley, and the other one was
Bootsy Killins.
Bootsy Killins.
I imagine the first one goes, "Hi, I'm Neil Spirit, and I like to party." And then the second one goes,
And Boo
"Hi,
Diddley
I'm
is
Boo
like, I'm Boo
Diddley,
Diddley, and I also like to.
They love to party. They told me so.
Bootsy Killins is like, "Hi, I'm Bootsy Killins, and I also like to party." And they're like, "Bootsy, you've never partied before in your life." And he's like, "No, I like to party. I definitely party, okay?"
He's like the fucking, "Well, what's happening, little baubles and babies? We're about to play so hard that it's gonna shake the snow right off your body." Like that kind of shit. I love Bootsy Collins, man.
Yeah, but basically, like, those are their stage names, obviously. And they took on these personas post-mortem and quite enjoy playing music. Otherwise, they could just decide not to show up. They are ghosts.
They've been known to ghost you sometimes, yes.
Yes.
It's the evening of a gig, guys. What the fuck?
Could I play alone? Yes. Would I play alone? No.
Guys, you have to apparate to practice, okay? Like,
I can't just trust that that they're practicing when I'm not around.
we have a big gig coming up.
Yeah, but like, yeah, this is my band of four. We play together. I summon them, and you obviously would have seen that tonight. And
My name's Neil, and I like to party.
my name is Neil, and I like to party.
This is amazing. I need to take notes. I need to... I mean... I have never seen someone do like you do. Most of the time the spirits are stuck in these places that they are tied to. They have they have this strong desire to see their desires in life fulfilled. So this is very different.
It's a thing I picked up when I was growing up. They could also help me fight if I asked them to. That's like the original purpose. But, growing up I didn't have to fight that much, so I just like music.
See it.
What was that, Josh? Kind of lost you.
I like the idea that they just keep going around introducing themselves, and I like to party.
God damn.
They more or less probably don't have fantastic social skills anymore.
Oh,
But
yeah.
they only talk to Pestilence for the most part, and Pestilence is not the most lively conversationalist of small talk.
I do like the.
They're not very lively
also
either.
I like the idea that to everybody but Spooky, it just sounds like ethereal screeching.
And Spooky's like just like having like a lovely little conversation with him. By the way, ironically, talking to dead people, big fella, this is the liveliest you have ever seen her. she's like a kid in a candy store, or like a kid that just met like their hero. You know what I mean?
The big feller is still just going to be like slightly cowering behind her, a little bit, like ever so slightly less uncomfortable when Pestilence mentioned that. Oh yeah, they love this. They love to perform, but still on
I'm gonna
edge.
keep letting Big Feller know, like, hey, like they aren't like vengeful ghosts. They just died in tragic ways and got bored after they died. I didn't take the mean ones, I swear.
No, if they were vengeful mean ghosts, then we would all be dead already.
Yes.
It would be fascinating.
Not really, no. Thank you.
Oh, I like
But
this
yeah.
party.
And Zana, have you made your way over yet?
Zana is very close.
And you see the mouse is literally like and it's a little bit bigger than a regular size mouse. It's probably like
Bloated.
like knee height. Like it's a little bit, it's proportionally like mouse proportions, but this like upsized to like knee height. And
like a nutria that died on my way home from school, and
Yeah.
then nobody picked it up, and it got to the size of a fucking beaver.
Nice.
But yeah, and you see he's still eyeballing you, Zana, and he's just tapping his foot, like crossing his arms, like waiting for you to get there, like give it, like very impatient. He's tugging at Dazan's like robes and whispering something up to him, and just he doesn't sit still, but he is very frustrated with your pace, just waiting on you to get there.
We're there.
He says finally, and he just kind of retreats up and like crawls up and disappears seemingly into Dazan's robes. But so he says,
Mr. Mouse.
says, I hear that there was some confusion for your arrival, and I want to apologize for that. Did you enjoy the show at least?
It was all right. Not really my cup of tea.
What about the other artists? And she just kind of looks over at Pestilence.
The one with the floating instruments was neat.
Good. So I may have something that might be worth your while. Work of sorts. And you're all welcome to take this contract as well. I could pay 25 gold pieces. And this might be up your alley, as I'm actually up here for a couple different reasons. But the first is I'm looking for a chewinga to study. These chewingas, a chewinga. He just kind of says they're nature spirits, elementals of sorts. They're small, playful little sprites. And they might have something to do with this weather. And I'm wanting to study to see if any of their innate magic can maybe help to understand why the last few years in Icewind Dale have been so bleak.
Oh, I love them.
Are they small or are they big?
That fork is to scale.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
I love them.
So they are about the size of a hand. I love this.
Yeah.
I think I have...
Pestilence gonna look over and be like, so why are you handing this to us? We are random people that you just met at a bar.
I mean, I can spot when some people need some spirit change. I mean, you said yourself, gigs are scarce. I mean, whether you guys do this together or you do it on your own, or I'm just offering out some coin to those who need it.
You know that Punk may be rock, but Punk is also currently broke.
Yeah, fucking Nyx has 1 silver piece. That is like...
I'm not even sure Zana has a concept of money.
Well, that's why I'm trying to appeal to your nature-y side.
Nature shit.
All that hippie bull crap.
Someone says, I have thought about exploring the local ecology. It'd be interesting to see how mold preserves within this cold environment.
I don't need money. I don't think that I have enough to eat. And Vanta gets a little impatient whenever I do not provide him with milk.
But yeah, if you're willing to venture a little ways out of town, it shouldn't be that hard of a task. And he says, here, if you all are taking this, take this with you. And it's a little lantern that he pulls out, and it is a lantern of tracking. You just carry this with you. Whenever you get near Chewinga, it'll light up green, and that's how you'll know that when there's one around. I would do this myself, but I have other pressing matters to attend to that maybe if this goes well, that I can bring you in on.
Who wants the lantern?
Pestilence will grab it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
this,
it's
so
just
this just turns green, and then we have to play a game of hot and cold for it, right? That's all.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you're giving us a lot of gold for this. I'm
25
clearing the contract.
25 gold pieces a piece.
Oh,
And
fuck, yeah.
another 25 if you can bring it back on its own free will.
Okay. You got me.
I want to help too. I need something to do here, if I'm going to live here, I suppose.
Big fella's gonna slowly turn his head to look at Zana and just kind of muddily whisper, are you a druid?
Zana's like, something along those lines.
You're talking to Zan, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said Zana.
It's Dazan, Dzaan.
Nope, I was talking to Zana.
Well, shit.
Too
If
many
asked-
Z's.
If asked directly
Lasagna.
about his participation, Big Feller will nod.
But yeah, no, he says, no, I am not a druid. I am a red wizard of the Thay.
Oh, no, bro, I was talking to Zana.
Oh, okay.
Fuck you.
Yeah,
But
Zana's
actually,
like, something like that.
It's just Red Wizard of Thay. Thay is a nation.
Right. He throws in random words, like that's part of his thing. He'll throw in random words that are misleading.
Gotcha.
That's how the dead moss thing, like he'll just throw in.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, he just periodically throws in words that like change the meaning completely.
It's like when you see like a lotion and it says dermatologist tested, but it never tells you if the dermatologist approved it. So like, yeah, you could have sent it to a dermatologist who said this is shit.
Shut up, you stupid bitch. What did you say? I said I had a bad itch.
Yeah.
I'm into it. Yeah, it sounds like we're all on board.
Okay. Just so you can
Much as
get.
Pestilence would like to go to like bigger, greener pastures musically, they know that you can't do that when you have no money.
Here's the city for y'all.
Ooh. It looks like a, It looks like if you stepped in the snow with a sneaker.
It's still kind of like blurry for me, so it just kind of looks like when you looked at an amoeba in a microscope and you're just like, ah.
It'll pop up in a
Shapes.
second.
Mitochondria.
Yeah, it just popped.
Here's
Nice.
where
I
you
never,
are.
There
I
we
don't
go.
know I don't know why they hid everything Like literally everything is on the GM layer.
That's weird.
They did that in Avernus too. I think it's just so that you can like custom set up the map.
Yeah,
They,
like
Yeah, if they're not
moved,
supposed to know anything about anything, you can just do whatever you want. But it's also like I remember at one point our DM he had like a map that had like the unlabeled side and the labeled side, and he just turned it back to the labeled side. And he's just like, just don't go anywhere that you really don't know about. Here you go.
yeah, he did do that. Okay, well. So, did he give us like a general direction of the Chwingas, or was it kind of just like just go look for him?
He would say just outside of town, and he kind of motioned up north, so not too far from where you guys are.
Okay, yeah, Spooky's on board.
All right, we going.
We ready. It's a Vanta Vanta because I like to make what's his face angry. What's his name? Anish Kapoor.
Anish Kapoor, yeah.
Yeah. So the cat is pitch black and his name is Vanta.
Like Vanta Black.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just fuck Anish Kapoor.
Copyright this, bitch.
He says that he doesn't want us to call it the Bean, but we're all going to call it the Bean because he's an asshole.
Fair enough.
Okay.
It's also just a big metallic bean, Anish. It's not that. It's not that bad for people to call it exactly what it looks.
Known colloquially as the Bean.
Fucking his bean.
I don't know what the fuck you're all talking about, but let's go north.
Yeah, it's an asshole artist. Don't worry about it.
So as you get pretty close to the edge of town, you start to see the dim light within the lantern of tracking, and about that time, you actually see a bundled up woman, and she's just stomping out of her cottage, yelling at the wind, and she's like, just this accursed wind, and she just watch out for all those little spirits and sprites. They bring nothing but trouble.
Spirit. Right. And take out the lantern.
Give me an intelligence check.
Alright, let me get that shit out. Intelligent. Bam.
Oh no.
Bad.
That is very bad.
Doi.
But she says, the wind blew through here, and I swear there's a little
Guy.
What's the exact word that she uses?
Little prick.
He had a fork.
A
Like
little
a pile of hay.
okay, a little tiny figure riding on a fox through the town.
Oh no, he's not a fox.
He's foxy.
Alright, well, thank you for your input. I guess he's gone now,
And she just puts north of town. They ran that way.
onward.
I wonder if it's a nice spirit.
I mean, it's making shit cold as fuck, so probably not.
I'm sure it has its reasons. Maybe it likes the cold.
You can go ahead.
No, you're good. Just as you make your way further out, about to the gate, whoever would be, I guess, kind of spearheading this. Well, I guess it'd still be Pestilence since you have the lantern. Give me a survival check.
Oh no.
Survival. What the fuck?
Oof.
I mean, we
Am I
could.
just rolling like doo-doo shit? Like. Also,
Ex-
I'm rolling everything at advantage, so I need to
I
change
can
that.
fix that for you. 1 second.
You are on my page.
And I'm on the top of it. I'm not looking at anything.
Rude.
There. I have initiated the possibility of you being able to toggle it.
Cool. Because I was just like, I'm not raging.
Yeah.
How funny would it be if I was in a barbarian rage while we were looking for things?
God
But I
damn
am
it!
not.
God damn it!
Like punching trees.
Where the fuck is it? Where the fuck is it?
If it's worth anything, Spooky is proficient in survival. Like, you want to pass that off, or whoever else is proficient in survival.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you're kind of looking around with this lantern, and like you turn one way and it gets really dim. You turn around the other way and it starts to light up a little bit more, but like you go too far and it's just frustrating because you just can't get that. It's the
It
you're
gets a
trying
little dim. You get a little dim.
yeah. It's just a little too fine tuned. It's getting frustrating.
Big fella the ranger, fuck off. I've got a +3 to survival, so
I mean, if I'm not a good survival boy, but I am a strong hit boy, so I could be at the front of the group without worrying too bad.
Do
It's
you
like, I don't like being hit.
need some help with that? I think I might be able to make sense of it.
Yeah. Look at it, see if it makes more sense to you. I'll keep an eye out for just, I don't know, I guess a fox.
Well, the fox is like,
well, and she kind of like rats off a couple things that foxes like, because I don't know the ecology of foxes very well. And while she's doing that, she's gonna like, yeah, she's gonna like wave around the lantern a little bit. 17 on survival.
Okay. You do find 3 sets of tiny little trails and one. I mean, you do recognize the fox trails, but there's 3 tiny little sets of footprints too.
look at this. I think I found something.
She kind of just points it out a little meekly. She's very clearly in her element when she's exploring like this.
Do we all want to go all at once, or do you think we will scare them?
Yeah. And as you kind of like line up with the trail, the prints too, like you get a stronger reading on the lantern too.
Okay, cool.
I like spirits. I can go in front if everyone wants me to. I don't want to scare them. I mean, we want them to come willingly, right?
Yeah, ideally I wouldn't like be grabbing it around the neck and dragging it to this guy.
And I says, sure, what's the worst thing you have?
Okay, just try to stay a little bit behind me, so just in case anything happens.
And Nyx will, our squishiest character, will lead the way. I'm going to cast Mage Armor.
Okay. Big feller just disappeared. He's gone.
There's
Okay.
a slight shimmering of like sickly, ghostly blue light that covers Nyx's form for a moment, then it kind of flashes and disappears.
Okay. So yeah, you all. I mean, you don't have to go very far. They got small, tiny little legs, so they're not getting too far. And these. Well, yeah, with that survival, you'd be able to deduce like these tracks are fairly fresh.
Now here's the fun part. Nyxaman has a negative persuasion modifier, so this is gonna be fun.
If you do
So-
bad, we're all gonna have to cover your ass.
So you travel for. I think this is how you do it. Yeah. You travel for about 3 hours, just kind of looking around. Well, no, that gets cut in half because of your survival roll, right? So about an hour and a half. You look around for about an hour and a half. Just a couple. You pick up the trail, and you'll kind of go a little. It's like they said, the hot and cold. Like you'll follow it for a little bit, then you'll slightly get off, and then you got to kind of find it again. But you eventually line it up, and you enter into this clearing. And at this point, the lantern's about as bright as it can get, and you enter into this clearing surrounded by conifers, and passive perception over 13, which I think is just Big Feller and Zana.
Yeah, Spooky's is just 11.
Yeah, mine's 11 too.
14, baby.
Passive perception is 14.
Okay. You all pick up the sound and movement behind some of these conifers.
Well, excellent. Big Feller is going to stealth behind a conifer.
Okay. And I'll take that roll, that's fine. So when you go behind these conifers, you actually see... Actually, there's art for this, so I can just show you what you see. I think it's this one. Yeah. You see 3 chewingas that are playing around with some cutlery.
It's the Chumbawampas.
They're gathered around. There's a plate with some pine cones and twigs on it. One of them's got a knife. One of them's got a fork, and they're the one with the knife is kind of cutting through some of the twigs and stuff, and the one with the fork is kind of like scooping it up, and they're basically pantomiming like eating.
Shit. Well, Big Feller is very surprised, and then he's just like, oh. Let's see.
Pestilence is going to... Oh, sorry, you go.
Big Feller's gonna go down on his hands and knees, still undetected, and then he's gonna whisper to them, "Here, this can be your table," and he's gonna produce a whetstone and set it down.
And they look up and they're very pleasantly surprised, like they're not they're excited. And the one that doesn't have any cutlery, like they kind of motion to you, kind of pantomiming, like, "Oh, you eat."
Just bite this pine cone.
Cool. Big Feller will pull out his dagger, and he'll cut off a little piece of pine cone, and he'll pop it in his mouth.
And you see them laugh, and as they are not actually eating it, they are just like playing. So they, they're pantomiming, like they'll go up to the pine cone, like a tea party basically. So they're just laughing hysterically that you actually ate it.
Big Feller will then pass his dagger off to the one that doesn't have any cutlery.
Oh, and he is very happy. Yeah, he runs behind you, cuts your Achilles tendon. Hope you have less. No, he's very happy. He's dancing around, and he's actually gonna hop up on your shoulder.
Aww. Also, I'm gonna set the plate on the whetstone, so it's actually on our table.
For a second, I forgot that whetstones existed, and I was like, why is he carrying a moist rock?
A whetstone. He licked it. Now that Pestilence is aware of the little dudes on the ground, she's gonna kind of get down eye level, meaning laying flat on the ground, and go, "Hey, you guys do the stuff with the weather? All this here? Y'all do that?"
They just kind of chuckle, and I don't think they actually speak. Let me double check their stat block to see.
I'm thinking they're kind of like they're kind of like non-vocal, but they're kind of like the what are the little guys from Breath of the Wild? Yeah, haha,
Yeah.
Koroks,
thank you.
Yeah,
That's
you have me.
That's the
I
vibe.
imagine they can basically read emotion and intention.
Right. Yep, that is. Yeah, they do not speak, so they just kind of chuckle and they look at you with a puzzled look, and then they look at the snow, and they just kind of shrug.
I mean, they seem cool little guys, but also like I don't know how to talk to them if they don't talk.
Hello, little ones.
And Spooky kind of goes and like clears out a little bit of snow to sit on the ground. She's like,
We have someone who would like to meet you and talk to you. I do not want to take you from your home if this is where you are bound, but if you would like to come with us, we will take good care of you.
And the one that hopped up on Big Feller's shoulder just kind of like gets up on top of his head and like goes full Ratatouille and like grabs like some hair and like gives like a horse whip, like ready to go.
Big fella, like, okay. Well, I think that's a yes.
And the other two are go back to playing, and as you kind of walk off, they just start waving and go back to playing.
okay, if this wizard hurts this thing, we're killing him, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay, cool. Because like this is our son now.
Yeah, this little dude is nice, and the wizard is willing to pay us a lot of money, but he also reanimated a rat for like entertainment value. So
I just
there's
want to point out that if he was willing to pay us the money, that means he has the money, and if we kill him, it's essentially the same thing as paying us.
oh yeah,
Hell yeah.
oh yeah.
It could actually be better for us in the long run.
Out of curiosity, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, like, we could be Dead Mouse instead, One of us just has to learn necromancy first.
Well, I mean, you have Spooky. I'm going to be leaning super hard into the necromancy with her. What's our I know Isaac's gonna hate whenever I ask this question, but what's our alignment spread? I'm just out of curiosity.
Ooh.
Spooky is true neutral.
Zana is also true neutral. It's not in the character sheet, but we're...
Pestilence is chaotic neutral.
And then Big
So
Fellow.
we're all neutral. So
and-
we could swing that way.
Yeah, Big Fellow's neutral good. So you're about to
Eh.
be. It's about to be Tig all over again, boys.
Yeah, he's not gonna be pro murder, but he'd definitely be pro. Let's not let the wizard torture this little sprite.
Yeah,
we're-
Yeah,
we're
100%.
protecting him.
he's our little friend.
Zana probably wouldn't suggest that we murder anybody either, just out of like, you
No,
know.
like Pestilence is hungry, but Pestilence also is like, this is my friend now, and I like him more than that wizard. Better first impression,
You know.
Nyx thinks that death is fascinating, so take of that as you will.
Gross. So with Big Feller being Ratatouille, I think he's gonna take the lead back to town from here on.
Okay. Yeah, that's so good.
Yep.
Everyone's just like, all right, fan out, let's look for these things, and then they just look over and Big Feller's fucking playing house with them on the ground.
Yeah, let's head back.
Okay. So y'all heading back to Northlook.
Yeah, to Dazan or whatever his name is. Dasani.
Yep.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Yep, Dasani.
Okay. So you get back to Northlook, and you actually see Dead Mouse, but not Dazan. And he sees you come in. He's like, y'all just missed Dazan, but he told me he'd probably be coming back, so we should sit down. So he says, he left your payment just in case. He said, go ahead and just kind of keep the Chewinga with you, and when you meet up with him, he'll kind of go from there. So he hands you all 50 gold, and he said, and keep the lantern. So you all get 50 gold apiece.
Cool.
50 gold apiece? Oh, wow.
Is adventuring always this easy? This is more money than I have ever had in my life.
So that actually brings us to part B of this conversation. Um, so Dazan actually had to go on other business. He went to head up to double check on the town, but I believe. Come on. Oh,
I have 8 siblings, so I have to share all my money a lot. There's not a lot to go around.
Big fella nods. That makes sense.
You think you have bad little sibling syndrome? Try being the youngest of 9.
Weird.
Just not what you
Sorry.
expected. No, you're fine,
There
dude.
it is. Okay, there it is. Yeah. He went ahead up to East Haven, but that actually kind of, he mentioned to you about the possibility of further work, correct?
He
Yeah.
said something about that, yes?
So, there's been rumors floating around in some of the larger 10 towns, including Bryn Shander, which is kind of why we've been traveling amongst these settlements. There have been murders committed in these towns, and it's a very hushed thing. But 3 murders have been committed: a halfling trapper in East Haven, a human shipbuilder in Targos, and just 3 days ago, a dwarf glassblower here in Bryn Shander. Each of these victims were found with a dagger of ice through the heart. We,
Go ahead.
That's terrible.
but we've been following leads, and the thing that we've traced through these in all connections is it's all been while another caravan of sorts is traveling through as well, and that has been the traveling caravan of Torga Icevane. So we don't. It's Torga herself is innocent, but her bodyguard, Cephik Caltro, we believe him to be the suspect.
He's sus.
Shut up.
So Cephik easily gets around within this caravan, which makes him easy. He's charming. He makes friends easy. He's a bodyguard, so I'm assuming he's good with his blade. These victims come from the only 3 towns that sacrifice people to the Frostmaiden on the nights of the new moon. Apparently, this is what passes for civilized behavior in the larger villages in Icewind Dale. But maybe these victims found a way to keep their names out of the drawing, and Cephik found out they were cheating, so he killed them. Maybe he's just doing the Frostmaiden's work. But anyway, we've been following Torgs for several 10-day now. They move from town to town, and the concern that Dazan has is how comfortable Cephik Caltro looks in this weather. He doesn't wear a coat, he doesn't wear a scarf, no gloves. It was like the cold couldn't even touch him, like he was kissed by the Frostmaiden directly. My master is willing to pay you 100 gold pieces to apprehend Cephik Caltro, ascertain his guilt, and deal with him, preferably without involving the authorities. And when the job is done, just let him know. But he is made his way to East Haven. That is where his home base. Dazan's. But he believes that that Sefik may be plotting his next victim.
Oh, I see. I wonder if we can talk to the dead and see if there are some things they can tell us about their death. It's advanced magic, but maybe there is something. Maybe it would help us to see the bodies ourselves, is what I am saying. Ghosts that die.
I mean, the dead do like to talk about how they died.
It's true. They
Usually.
really do. It's sort of a defining moment for them, really.
Big feller will kind of look at down at the floor near where Dead Mouse is, and he'll ask, "Does Bryn Shander have a temple?"
Ah, yes, actually. Over not too far from here is the House of the Morning Lord. It is a shrine to Aminator?
A monitor.
A monitor, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, so there's the House of the Morning Lord just a little ways east of here.
Okay, and which direction is the caravan that we're going to? Place?
The caravan, they do not know. They just they've been following them, but they've kind of lost that trail.
Okay, so we've got a couple dead victims in a couple of the 10 towns. Dazan is in East Haven. Let me think. What were there were 3 victims, right? And they were in what towns?
East Haven, Targos, and Bryn Shander.
Okay. East Haven, Targos, and Bryn Shander. Yeah, so we're already in Bryn Shander, so I mean, probably here, East Haven, Targos, and just like check them all out, see if we could just like follow that trail. And Nyx actually does ask, who was the most recent one to die?
That would be the one that was just committed 3 days here in Bryn Shander. Dwarf Glassblower.
Oh.
Then maybe he might still be here. Or maybe he is trying to go to each one of the 10 towns and take a victim. I do not know. But I think it would do us well to look at the body of the one that is here. I don't mind doing this. If it makes the rest of you uncomfortable, I can do it by myself. It makes a lot of other people uncomfortable, and that is why I'm asking.
Where would the body be?
Do they have something akin to a morgue here, or is the victim already dead and buried, as it were?
I would say they were prepping for his final rites. So you could probably we'll say he's at the House of the Morning Lord. So yes, they're probably prepping him out. This is Dead Mouse. They're probably prepping him over at the House of the Morning Lord. That being that fresh, they're probably getting ready for a funeral of sorts.
Might as well try to catch it before that, you know. Try not
Big
to talk
feller
to a
will-
person's ghost at their funeral.
Big feller will stand up abruptly and say, "Good, good. I will head there ahead. I will see you there," and he will immediately leave for the
Zana
temple.
also stands up quickly, but so it's like at a normal speed.
Whoa! Lightning!
Says,
Slow down there, Speedy.
Zana's like, I should go too. Maybe there's something he'll miss.
You are a curious person. Mr. Zana?
I am what I am.
And I am a yam.
I'm just very careful.
Okay, then we can go together. I don't think they will be very happy to see me at the House of the Morning Lord, but we will see.
I have written it out in because the haunted one background gets a gets like a curio item, and instead of in her art, Nyx has a bunch of buttons on her on like her just like lining her collar. In the game, she has a collection of different holy symbols, like one for like a bunch of different gods. It's like a mishmash of just evil ones like Bashaba to like, there's one of Lathander on there, there's some Ilmater, maybe one to Shar. It's very blasphemous to like have them
You're
all like
collecting
right there.
them.
Yeah, no, she straight up is collecting them because that's a very common thing you find around dead bodies as holy symbols. She keeps one of her own for the Raven Queen because that's hers.
So you're over here stealing crucifixes off of corpses' bodies. Good.
It's like crucifixes, prayer beads, like a lot of stuff. So I just want to outline that is in fact a thing she has going on about her appearance, and will not be changing before she goes into the House of the Morning Lord.
I mean, it's okay because Pestilence is basically in like punk rocker outfit, like not very how we shakes out modest. And she's walking out, just, hey guys, what's up, Morning Lord?
In the winter, in the middle of the deep ass snow, just like
I am a tiefling, so I have resistance to fire, so I'm gonna assume I'm a little bit warm.
I mean, you also have, if I recall correctly, Pestilence has resistance to cold too because of Infernal Constitution. So,
Me?
yeah, that was your free level 1 feat. Remember?
Stop messing around on my page.
Yeah, but Spooky will.
That's who saw the name of my secret and is now trying to cover up for himself.
Spooky will join. I didn't see it. I saw Infernal Constitution. Calm down. But yeah, Spooky will accompany Xana at Xana's speed.
He's going.
Okay.
He's
All right.
He's making it happen.
Yeah.
So,
So you
Big
make-
Feather will have scoped out the entire place by the time you guys get there.
Yes.
Like, yep, nothing here. No.
Okay. And so while they're on their way and you've had time to do that, this is actually in the market square. It's in the northeast market square, and it's not an actual temple per se, as much as it's a house that was converted to a temple, kind of like old house converted to church, kind of country shrine kind of thing.
Almost literally House of the Morning Lord.
Yeah.
There is a house of the Morning Lord.
Bad. No.
I mean, apparently, like, music puns are just what the theme of this campaign is now. So
Call it the Rising Sun.
Shit, that would have been amazing.
Like, I started it with the band names, and then it just kept happening.
What can I say? Other
Except you're welcome.
than
I love that song though, man. Fuck.
It's a good song.
Good punk version of it out there somewhere. I forgot who did it, but there you go, Pestilence.
There's a punk version of every song. There's a punk version of Jolene.
Yeah, there is. Spooky does like cautiously. Oh hell yeah, it's canon. Fuck yeah. I'm glad that we're finally we're here to like we're here to look at the many sins that that Brandon commits with the drawing tools and are just legitimizing him by following suit.
oh, that's me.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
All right, cool. House of the Rising Sun. Fuck yeah.
I am a good influence.
We're serious story writing people.
Hey, no, this is good. There needs to be a little bit of levity for what we're about to get into.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, this module even says, like, good horror is supplemented with even better humor.
Right.
So
you come to the House of the Rising Sun with 20 crucified babies.
God damn it. Alright. So yeah, you make it over to the House of the Rising Sun. And when you enter, you're greeted by it's a lady? It's a lady. Yeah, it's a lady. You're greeted by a human woman, and she motions you in, like, come in out of the cold. Come. What brings you to the House of the Rising Sun?
Block text.
Um,
Concerns to be addressed. Me. I sent you a message in Discord.
We are.
Oh, I see.
We would like to speak to the excuse me. I'm sorry. We would like to look at we would like to look at the body of the murder victim.
She thinks that's a less creepy thing than what she was going to say.
Yeah,
How did you
Pestilence. Pestilence is gonna cut in front of him and be like, we're investigating the death of the person. We do not just want to look at a dead body, and we would like to see if there's anything we can glean from it.
I kind of want to look at the dead body.
That is your secondary course. We are mainly here to figure out how this person died and who killed them.
I mean, we sort of know how they died. We were told that, but I mean, we would like to get a closer look.
Incidentally, when you guys get there, Big Feller is just kind of standing in a corner. He looks sad. But I mean, he always looks sad, so. Yeah.
More sad than usual?
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit.
Would you say that he's blue?
Dabba dee dabba die.
Collecting them. This is good.
But, so she motions you in, she's like, yes, come in. I already did that, yeah. So about the murder victim, yes, I mean, so did you know the individual?
Not personally.
I mean, are you paying respects? Like, I mean, I'd rather not defile the dead, but I would never deny someone paying their respects.
Respects will be paid.
And she just kind of eyes you all and gives some of you more than others kind of an odd look. But she says,
waves slowly.
and she gives the little like half like hey like wave, and she's like, fair enough. I guess she still is she seems distracted and caught off guard by you. But she's like, sure, right this way. And she motions you back, and you see the body pretty close to prepared as far as like, you know, the wound has been covered and it's in its funeral garb. I mean, it doesn't take much to preserve the bodies, which is cold as it is up there. But
you're more worried about having to like pick through the permafrost layer.
Right. Yeah. So it's. I mean, you could tell based on how well prepared it is. The funeral's not too far away, but so she just kind of motions you in, brings you into the room, and she kind of stands off into the corner, and just kind of nods and says, "All right, well, go ahead and pay your respects."
Spooky kind of like looks at the body, and she kind of she kind of clasps a hand over her her symbol of the Raven Queen. She says, "Endless black waters, old death deep as the ocean, bones beneath our feet." Because she speaks in haiku sometimes whenever she's contemplating things. Do you mind if I set up some candles or something to talk to him? If you don't want us to disturb his body, maybe I can speak to him. I've never actually done it correctly or successfully, but maybe this time it will be different.
I'll give it a shot.
Big feller was standing in the corner, but now he's gonna slowly turn so he's facing into the corner away from Spooky. He's just slowly gonna lean his head on the wall what is shit?
She's basically
just gonna walk over and be like, "Look, man, talking to ghosts is not as bad as you think it is. They normally like to talk."
She is essentially asking to perform a seance.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
let's do it.
Roll persuasion with disadvantage.
Yeah, she's still giving you kinda, but no, go ahead and do it at advantage.
Okay, cool. I kind of need it.
Because while she's not okay with this, there.
I don't think it matters.
Yeah, it's a 2 and a 3, dog.
Can I
Roll
try to
20,
roll?
Are you okay?
Can I try to persuade as well?
Yeah, sure.
I'm also into it. What the fuck is wrong with Roll20 today?
Roll 20. Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Roll 20.
Man.
Let me just keep rolling until I get something. Okay, so Roll20's fine. It's just
I mean,
aside
I'll count.
digit.
I will count that one because I would say it would be advantage because
Cool.
while she's not okay with this whole time she's been talking to you, she looks like she's seen a ghost essentially. Like she's very distraught and just kind of concerned by your all's presence. So she's just it's one of those things she's not okay with it, but she doesn't have it in her to really fight you. So she's like, yeah, sure, go ahead. Just like I said, please don't defile the corpse.
It won't hurt them,
No.
and they don't need to touch the corpse.
No, we would never do that. It is bad luck, whenever you have to cross over, it helps to orient yourself if you are whole. Violent crimes are usually very devastating for new spirits.
So yeah, Spooky wants to get a better look at this at the dude, uncover the wound and everything. She'll get on a little stool so that she can see above the table, I guess.
Pestilence picks her up and just holds her kind of on her shoulders.
Yeah, you're gonna have to keep me the fuck alive, guys, because I rolled a minimum on my hit die for level 2. I am so fucked.
I didn't roll a lot better.
I am
Did we level up just now? Did I skip that?
I forgot to tell you when you got the Chewinga quest done, you were supposed to level there.
Yeah, it's at your convenience. It's not that big a deal. Oh, thank God. Because I'm level 2 and I have 11 hit points. Oh man.
26 now.
Oh, thank Jesus.
Oh,
All
I
right.
have 19.
Yeah, I mean, Pestilence is a barbarian with a +4 to con, so she's
and I roll a d12, so I just so happen to roll good and have not even that good, but
so it's about
alright.
average. Yeah.
I need to be beefy, otherwise I will get hit and die. I don't have much in the way of armor normally.
I keep forgetting you're a barbarian because it's not...
Yeah, she's beefy in the lean muscle way because
it's all compressed.
She's got a runner's body, not a lifter's body.
I get my companion. So while they're playing with the dead body, Isaac, Zana's gonna go on a side quest.
Oh my God.
What the
Turn
fuck?
around.
Where are you
You turn
going?
around. Jana just disappears.
No, yeah. So we're in basically a house, right?
Yeah.
And I imagine it has kind of a raised roof because it's a quote unquote church. And so up in the rafters, Zana hears some squeaking, and he's like, I wonder what that could be. And he goes and examines, and up in the rafters, he finds a bat. And he's
Okay.
gonna spend the next few minutes playing with this bat. And
Okay.
trying to befriend it.
So we have in the party a bat and also a winged cat. I'm sure this won't go bad at all.
Well, and the Chewinga.
And the Chewinga. Oh, everyone's gonna have a pet. We just need a pet for Pestilence now. Pestilence has 3 ghosts.
One picks up a cockroach off the ground.
Cool. It's punk as fuck.
Yeah, and then like 3 minutes later, we're gonna find that the Chewinga has like stabbed it to death with the fucking kitchen knife.
Kalima!
Chewinga's made like a prison yard shank, like, and just.
I get my jinxes. That's cool.
But yeah. So as you're inspecting the body to the best you can, because they kind of do have it in like the funeral garb, and this is over the wound and stuff. So you kind of pull down the shirt a little bit because it was stabbed in the heart essentially, or the chestial region. And as far as you're able to pull it down far enough to see that the wound is not 100% closed. Like, it's not gushing or oozing, and it's not like, but
I would hope not. It's dead.
yeah, it. Give me an investigation roll on it to kind of discern. It's pretty low DC, but just so you kind of know what's discerning.
Holy shit.
Okay.
Crit fail and then a crit.
Nyx just
So-
digs her hand right into the chest.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, look at this.
No, so Nyx, the kind of like the ice dagger or the ice that they were talking about, that Dead Mouse was telling you about, is still like in the wound. Like, they got the top part out, like, but it's literally just anything that's in. Like, it almost looks like they had to snap off the parts that were outside of the body, but the ice that was actually in the chest itself did not come out. And it's been 3 days, so even the initial like body temperature should have been enough to melt this off. So this, like, and you're able, the more you mess around with it and you kind of move around, you try to apply heat and stuff, this ice does not melt.
Can it be removed gently? I imagine, like, with her herbalism kit, she has, like, or, like, her alchemist supplies, she has, like, some calipers or something to kind of maybe, like, try and grab it without harming the body at all.
Okay, yeah, describe how you're going to try this.
So, like, you know, it's an ice knife, so I assume it is, like, lodged in there, like, you know, as a knife might be. So she takes, like, her pair of calipers from her alchemist kit, and she kind of, like, closes one eye, sticks her tongue out as she concentrates, and gently goes into the wound, not at all bothered by it, and just tries to pluck the knife out as gently as possible.
Okay, give me
Medicine, probably.
I could see medicine. I could also see like dex because you're kind of finagling it. But I would take either medicine or sleight of hand.
I am.
Either of those are fine. I could see either of those.
Fuck. Well, I looked at it real good.
I think he just tore what was left of his heart out. And...
Yeah, like you see. I mean, luckily the body is old enough that there's not like blood coursing through the body. But you do a little more damage, and the priestess kind of looks. She's like, that's the opposite of not defiling the body. And she just kind of moves and like pulls the shirt back up.
I was being...
Pestilence is gonna say, yeah, and leaving the knife and the dead person is not defiling the body. The knife wasn't there originally either.
Well, we tried to pull it out as well and couldn't get it out.
I'm sorry,
Well,
I'm sorry,
great,
I'm sorry,
pull
I'm
it
sorry.
out, put the meat back. Man, I hope that if I don't die around you guys, you're just gonna leave all that shit in me.
I'm very sorry, I'm very sorry. I'll put it back.
And she just kind of like gives up on her attempt with the calipers and just kind of puts them away.
I'm sorry, I thought I could help maybe look at it and determine where it came from or something. It would be valuable for us to have.
I would say Pestilence. Give me an intimidation check on that.
Right? What the fuck?
Jeez.
I'm sorry. I'm trying.
No,
I'm
no,
trying.
it's okay. It's just like, oh man.
Roll-
I can't
roll
get mad
20
at how the
hate
rolls are
you.
happening, but it's just like also
Yeah.
totally be mad at them. Like, bro, I'm rolling like shit. Why? It's not even like, oh, you didn't have a good modifier. I had a +4. Okay, the modifier was fine.
And okay, so we'll do it this way because I do want you to kind of have this clue. Level 2 plot armor.
Yeah, that's fair.
So the Chewinga sees that the situation's getting a little tense, and you look up. Well, you don't look up, but if you notice it, it kind of imaginarily like pushes up its sleeves and like kind of struts a little bit, and it jumps down between you two and puts its hands in between you, kind of like, hey, cool off. And then it jumps up onto the body, claps its hands, and like rubs it, and then kind of sticks its hands out, and you sense a little bit of energy coming from the Chewinga, and then you all fade to black and die.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. No, and you see the blade actually coming out, like kind of levitating out, and it is successfully removed. It is just a blade; it does not have a hilt.
Chewinga for the fucking save.
Yeah, no, this little dude needs a name, and he's our best friend now.
And
Spooky holds out.
The Chewinga looks back at you, and it pulls out its table knife, and he just holds it up to Big Feller, and here you go.
Oh.
Yeah.
He accepts it and kind of beckons it like, yeah, you can come back up here now.
And he motions towards the knife, like, you know, like break the knife and use the hilt, like he's making those motions to complete the knife.
Oh. Big fella. Break the blade off of the table knife. And
Wow.
She will gingerly attach the hilt to the dump of the ice knife.
Okay. And the cold almost immediately bonds it to the metal. And so this knife, it does not have any additional... it is a magic weapon, but it just rolls as if it's a regular dagger, but instead of piercing, it is cold damage. And magical cold damage.
Cool. Big feller drops it to the floor immediately and backs away. That is.
Oh, and it cannot melt. I'm sure you've guessed.
Right.
Oh, do not be.
I do not like that.
Do not be such a baby. Look, it is harmless as long as I do not stab you with it.
And she kind of goes and picks it up, and she kind of holds it gingerly in her, not like, you know, with the blade on one of her hands, but like she just kind of holds it gingerly and examines it, and does like the cool thing where you can see her eye from like the other side of the ice.
Pestilence is gonna look at the chewing and go, thanks, little buddy.
He gives you a thumbs up.
He needs a name, and he needs to be our main character now.
We are all secondary characters to the Chewinga.
I'm like, you know how I hate, like, you know, Disney manufactured mascot characters like Olaf, but like, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. I would die for this little guy.
Sometimes they get it right, and then you're just like, no, that's my favorite character. Like BB-8. Like, fuck, man. Like, there's a lot wrong with those movies, but I'll die for BB-8.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, Spooky will, take the ice knife, and, I assume it's not much to say that she has, like, a scabbard, or, like, a little scabbard or something, so she'll just, like, kind of stick it on her belt.
Well, maybe we can take this and we can have it examined or something.
Isaac, I have a ritual book, and I would like to detect magic on ritual cast detect magic on the knife to see like what kind of school, like the school of magic that it like emanates, I suppose. If that is a thing that that can be, you know, determined. You good?
Yeah.
Okay.
It would be conjuration. It actually doesn't say. It legit. It just says it's a magic knife that does cold damage. It doesn't even have it. Statted out. Like,
Yeah, I figured it wouldn't. It would be kind of like a big ask, but yeah, that makes sense. Well, I mean,
are we gonna talk to the ghost, or are we gonna just keep looking at the knife?
I think that they told us that we couldn't do a seance, so.
They didn't tell us we couldn't. They just gave us disapproving looks.
I mean, Spooky can start setting up for a seance, but, I mean, number one, like, she's literally just doing, like, a little ritual. It's not like a spell that I have. I don't have Speak with Dead yet.
I think at this point, Zana's gonna come back in the room and be like, "Hey, guys, I made a new friend. Everybody meet Patrick Batman."
Patrick Bateman.
Oh.
And
it's a double pun.
At this point, you see a black cat pop out from underneath Spooky's hat, and he speaks, like, in common. Oh, what a delightful little morsel. Why don't you bring him a little closer? And you can see...
The chewinga busts out its fork, and just starts pounding it down.
And you can see Vanta, like, licking his little cat lips.
And as this happens, you see Zana looks a little irritated, and like a little puff of spores comes out from the moss on his shell, and just kind of starts surrounding him. And he's like, "Leave my friend alone.
Now nobody eat
We have a mutual love of all things pollen."
Oh, that's so cute. Oh my god.
They are pollinators.
Oh, very well.
The bat looks up. You like jazz?
I was actually about to say that big feller kind of turns from his corner and says, "Does that mean do you like bees?"
Oh, of course.
We all love bees, big feller.
I like
They're
bees.
the best.
They buzz around and they make nice soothing noises. And whenever they sting you, it feels very interesting.
And that day, big feller knew he found a new bunch of friends.
Found family, episode 1.
Okay, but like when I was in my sorority, I literally made friends over the fact that I was like, I like bees. And then all of a sudden, everybody else in the room was like, fuck yeah, bees! And I'm just like, they said it'd be hard to make friends in college.
Oh, man.
Vanta, please be nice to the bat. That is a pet just like you are a pet.
And Vanta swats at her nose because he doesn't like being called a pet. And then he goes back underneath her hat to just chill.
I'm sorry,
Go
ahead.
The chewinga slowly puts its fork away as you do this.
I'm sorry, that is my cat Vanta. He's a face spirit. And he's not actually a cat, he is a Tressum. He has wings.
You know, space spirits and their attitudes, not to be rude, but they do have attitudes.
Oh, right back at you, hussy. She says, like, from Vanta says from underneath her hat.
And you see Pestilence's eyes begin to glow a little bit more, just like, I'm gonna kill your fucking cat.
I promise he's harmless. He just likes to drink milk and say mean things. I like my cat a lot. Please don't.
I ain't casting that, but that's a misclick.
Okay, cool. I mean, it's a good one to have.
Suddenly, big feller's fucking zooming around.
He's
I
got
was like, where are you going?
Do be
Got
zooming.
fast.
He do be zooming, though.
He picks up the body and runs full speed. No!
Yeah, so if
Let's run.
is everyone down with the seance? Like, because if that's what's happening, that's what's happening.
Zana says, "Oh, we're doing the seance."
We're going to try to do a seance. I've never actually done one successfully before, but maybe this will work this time.
Big
And-
feller cocks his head. Sorry, I'm not familiar with the word in common. Sauna?
No. We are going to try to talk to the ghost of the dead man on the table. I hope he is friendly.
Usually,
And
like
big
just
fella
like
turning back to his corner.
He must.
it's not like summoning a devil. You're just talking to him.
Oh,
If only we were 6th level.
Oh, he must be feeling so lonely right about now. It's a lonely thing being dead. It's very traumatizing and different. At least that's what the spirits tell me.
So, this is supposed to be like a. So I'm gonna link you my read the entrails thing, Isaac. It's a very long feature, but essentially it's like a It's supposed to be like a little gachapon for whenever things die in Spooky's presence, like mid combat. But I'm like trying to flavor this. Like, can she, if not speak to the spirit directly with her little seance, can she like get a vibe off of it? Is what I'm asking. Like I'm not like using this feature specifically, but like I'm just giving you an idea of like what kind of.
I'm sorry, you're vibe checking a fucking corpse?
Yeah, basically.
I will.
He gets up and does
Flavor
the nay-nay.
wise, I'll give you like a watered down speak with dead. I'll give you 2 questions.
Okay.
And if we were at a
How are
cooler
you
house of the
today?
dead, they would raise it for us.
Good. You have 1 question.
Oh, god damn it. So yeah, Spooky is having all of us hold hands in a circle, except for Big Feller, who I imagine is not participating, and we can't
No,
we can't
no part of
sit
it.
we can't sit down because Spooky is 3 feet tall.
So she's like, can you tell us about the person who killed you?
Yes. It was a man that was kissed from the Frostmaiden. A charming man. He wore no coat. He wore no hat. He carried a blade maiden completely of ice, with glowing blue eyes.
For a second, whenever you paused after saying the word yes, I thought that was like the answer to, and I was like, you motherfucker.
Can you tell me about the manicure? Yes, I can.
Okay, so
Will you? No. Goodbye.
So that about answers. That about confirms what Dezan thought. Do you have any next of kin in the town that we can speak to, perhaps?
Ooh.
Sorry, I like from a DM's perspective,
What
I
was
know
your,
that's like.
childhood dream.
How much did you have in your 401k? Yeah,
Would you say that your insurance is overpriced? And if so, would you be willing to join my insurance MLM?
what is your mind?
That is more than 1 question. 2-part questions are still 2 questions.
Okay, well, we'll just shorten it down to the MLM one. Okay, thank you.
But he responds. He says, "Hruna, Hruna, Hruna.
Okay.
Luna.
She would be near Black Iron Blades. If you find her there, she can further assist you."
Thank you very much. You had been most helpful. I hope that your passage to the next world is comfortable and not at all frightening. I hope you find sleep.
And Pestilence is going to jump in. And if you ever take up an interest in music, you know where to find me.
Good.
Sweet, I'm dead and I have a job.
So
Hey,
all the
it's
other
always good to keep it open.
all the other stuff that was on this map, in the background, has disappeared. So I'm just gonna tell you where it's at, and Brandon, you have better writing and stuff in this than I do, so just put it in.
There is a text tool.
Yeah, but it never works out right for me.
That's
Like
fair.
it's always hard to read. But Black Iron Blades is right here, basically where Zana's at.
Black Iron Blades, got it.
And then, just for the sake of not having to come back to it, and it's not relevant right this moment, and I can add it later too, and this would be fairly common knowledge. This one's Town Hall, and this one's the Council Hall. It's not really, like, super relevant that it's on this map, because, I mean, just that you know that it exists.
Yeah, it's good help. I got you.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I made it.
All right, let's see.
And so the priestess was just basically like, all right, I think that would qualify as strike 2. You should probably get what you need and be heading on.
Okay.
Can I check it for spores?
Strike 3.
And she just looks at you, looks around, kind of looks out at the weather. Sure.
Like, vaguely, like, wiping the body down.
Oh, this is good. This is a good time that we're
Let's see
having.
here. Where's my character sheet?
Spores from a fern. Ah.
Did I do it? Nope.
Fuck me, good lord.
Jesus, this one is cursed. Like the last one, it was just like, you want to do something, you got it. And then we're like, all right, time to start a new story. And we're cursed.
I got that nat 20, that 26 investigation, and then it's like, that's all you get tonight.
I'm proficient in nature too. I have a
I have a +6.
Yeah, no.
plus 3 to that.
I was proficient in
Intimidation.
intimidation, and I still failed. I was like, damn, I'm just gonna be able to do this because I got that charisma.
I imagine Zana walks up and like puts a hand on the head to like tilt it back to look in their eyes and their mouth, and just the head just kind of tips off the table and rips and rolls across the floor.
Pestilence is already just gonna
And
leave.
he's like,
She doesn't even need to be asked. She's leaving.
he's like, oops.
Big fella's gonna.
The priestess is just gonna like open the door and just not even say anything. just kind of look at you, look at the door.
Thank
I
you.
get it.
Thank you for letting me have this chance. It was lovely to talk to him. He seems like a nice person.
As we're walking past, Zana's gonna look at Big Fella and be like, is she angry?
He's just gonna motion for Zana to leave. He's gonna press a single gold piece into her hand. He's gonna say, thank you. Story.
Yeah. And
Thank
as
you.
Big Pillar walks out, she looks out and says, "Well, I hope you find what you're looking for."
Bye, buddy. I hope you
And
find
just-
your dad.
Yeah, and she just kind of closes the door really slowly. And as you walk away, I'm not even gonna make you roll for it. It's just kind of like you look back and you see her kind of like peeking out the door to make sure you're actually leaving.
All right, we have one friend in the town.
Sometimes you just gotta go to the morgue and play with the bodies, you know?
Yeah, we're
We made a
adventurers.
friend, we lost a friend. I think this is a net positive, honestly, on the day.
Town hall, I will say, is like right here. You said, Isaac.
It's this building.
If you ping something, I did not see it.
I mean, we have Chumbawamba and we have Patrick Bateman, so I'd say.
Oh,
we do
it might help if I was on the right layer, not the GM layer.
Okay.
It's right here.
Can we please call it Chumbawamba?
No, he's Chumbawamba now. That's his name.
I get knocked down.
Again.
I
Big
get
feller,
knocked
I think we'll
down.
just refer to him as Wamba, but we all know it's Chumbawamba.
But I get knocked down.
And then the Chawinga, he drinks a whiskey drink. He drinks a vodka.
Oh man,
Oh, God.
we're gonna have to we have.
Wamba, where did you get that from?
Oh God, we have so
He only
many.
needs like a drip of whiskey and a drip of vodka. Let's be very fair.
His a shot glass for him is like a fucking like a Polly Pocket little cup.
Yeah, when he takes a shot, he just like jumps into it and starts swimming it, and then just...
Okay. So we've got like 40 minutes left, I think. Do we want to go to Black Iron Blades and be like, "Hey, sorry about your husband, brother"? Maybe.
Yeah, she's our next lead on like, hey, would anyone do this that you know of? What has he been doing lately? You know, that kind of stuff.
I'm gonna start keeping notes because that's what a good D&D player does.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've never done it before. Why start now?
That's how I
kept
usually am.
notes in our IRL campaign for a moment, and then I eventually learned that I never looked back at them.
I'm mostly just like keeping track of NPCs that we meet.
Yeah, no, that's my like worst thing about being a PC is just keeping track of like NPCs. Is I'll be like, oh, you know that guy, and then I'm just hoping that Tyler says the right guy. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie, I could probably be like, oh, you mean that? I mean that one guy, not having any guy in mind, and then Tyler, for plot conveniences, be like, oh, you mean yeah? I'm like, yeah, that guy.
I know a guy.
Yeah. But so you guys are kind of making your way back over towards Black Iron Blades.
Yeah, because that was
Okay.
For Haran or whatever the name was.
Yeah,
Run.
I mean, to be honest, Brandon, you're not that far off.
Yeah, no shit. Wow.
Let me see if I can do this without giving you the... Oh yeah, it's just the art. Yeah, I can do that. Because, I mean, you would have had enough of a description to piece this together.
Ooh, I'm into it.
Kind of got like that hot dad vibe.
Yeah, he's got like a little bit of a. I'm a sucker for like the gray streak in the hair. He's got it like an. Wow, he's got like an Ixian vibe now that I think about it.
No,
Yeah.
no,
You
not
say
again.
hot. You say hot dad vibe, but he's ice cold.
Hey.
Sometimes the hottest dad, coolest dads. Ever tell you guys my dad's band name? He's in a band and everybody in the band gets nicknames. Well, he's in two bands, but his band nickname for the generic bands is Cool Daddy.
Your dad
And
is.
don't refer to him as this.
Your dad is one of my favorite people on the planet. Have I ever mentioned this?
Yeah.
Like.
And it's great because I never blinked twice at these things until Tyler came into my life and was like, "What is your dad doing?" And I'm like, "Well, it says Cool Daddy because his name is Cool Daddy in some bands." That sounds weird, but his other band name is Trout, so like.
Because he's in a band. He's in a band called Butt Naked Fish.
And everybody has a fish name. Like there's a girl named Jill, and her name is Jillyfish. And my dad's name is Trout because whenever he got nieces and nephews, he tried his darndest to get all of them to call him Uncle Trout, and it never took off. But he still tries. They're
Like-
adults now.
Like, wow. It's best part about marrying you is like, you know, wife Emily, but a very close second is father-in-law Mr. Craig. I'm just like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. I mean, it's already awesome. It's not like that much is gonna change, but I'm just like, I can say I'm related to this fucker now. Oh
Back
Christ.
to D&D, Cool Daddy break.
I was a big fan of Cool Daddy.
Tyler laughed really hard because I think the first time he heard that was when my dad's friend walked in and called him Cool Daddy.
Yeah, I did laugh. It's true. Yeah, no, let's go. Let's go to the Black Iron Blades. Let's check the place out. I'm assuming it's like gonna be like
Well, and you
dwarf
don't
lady
even
or
have to
something.
make it to there. They're just in the vicinity. Like you're walking towards it. You see a big sign, but you see three stocky figures bundled up in cold weather garb, and they stumble towards you. They have snowshoes on, and they have ice picks stacked into their belts. 2 of them have thick spears, and the third has a thick wool scarf and a raspy voice. And you wouldn't know that until she starts talking.
It's fine. Go ahead, dude.
And she's
She
kind of
looks like she has a raspy voice.
yeah. She God, this is what
God?
the module. This is what the module says. Unfortunately, like I tried to make it sweet and endearing, but I can't. Like, so she's kind of rubbing at around where a ring would be. She's wearing a glove, but she's kind of looking, and she looks and she's like, "Well met. I'm Haruna."
What are you talking about? That's incredibly endearing.
No, it straight up says the voice is very raspy, as if she has smoked a pack a day.
Oh.
Fuck yeah.
Sometimes grieving widows are also people who smoke a pack a day.
Yeah, but they don't need to have smoker's voice. Like, I don't. But okay, we're gonna go with it. But she's like, y'all new in town. The name's Haruna.
You want to see my stoma?
What would anti-smoking commercials be like?
And then she pulls the thing away from her throat, and you see a giant gaping hole. No,
Hello, how are you today? That's so mean.
We're gonna get canceled on Twitch.
Oh yeah, for making fun of smokers, the most
We're
oppressed,
losing our
the most,
sponsorship to
Yeah.
Marlboro.
the most
Yeah,
oppressed
no.
minority ever.
guys, we're sponsored by Juul, so as long as we
Where the
as
fuck's
long
my
as we don't make
jaw?
fun of the vape pens, we're good.
Oh, because we've
Well,
we've never made fun of vape pens before in this group.
I can't make fun of nicotine as a blanket statement then.
Oh, man. Where the fuck's my jaw? Oh my god.
20, I can smoke weed out of a jewel.
No, you can't, Josh. You live in Mississippi. It's not legal there.
I didn't say I could legally smoke.
Physically, yes.
If you lived in the People's Republic of California, you'd be able to.
If I had
Or
a
if you lived
medical
up here.
condition, I could do it here.
If you lived up here, you
Yeah,
could do it.
same
if you
in
lived up north.
Louisiana.
Oh,
If I,
course.
But no, I am a good, upstanding citizen, and on 420, I did laundry. I did not smoke weed like a heathen.
I have glaucoma.
Don't smoke weed, never day.
Oh god. So anyway, Snoop Dogg has to be a character in this thing now that we've established the music theme.
God, we
so...
gotta get Snoop in here.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
that'll be Pestilence's pet.
I fully expect you to
A dog named Snoop.
I fully expect
on.
you to Photoshop Cephic's art into like exactly the same, but with just a badly photoshopped Snoop
Oh,
Dogg head on
shit.
top of him.
No, it's not even.
It's
It's not even Snoop Dogg's head. It's like the dog head from the Snoop Dogg video that's straight up a dog head.
Yeah, la da 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 da.
So,
I'm gonna
so at
stab you
least
with a bunch of
in
fucking ice.
Pathfinder, there's a bipedal race of dogs. They're called Shunies. So we need a Shuni in here to be your friend,
Oh my
and they'll also be a detective.
Oh God, a detective
So everyone will call
dog!
them. So everyone will call them Snoop.
Oh god, Vincent Trench's best friend. So anyway, before we go off for the rest of the night, yeah, we're really
We can just go off on weed for like the next 30 minutes if we
Yeah,
want to riff.
we're
But
already-
we got stuff to do.
talk about the Binding of Isaac. This poor motherfucker has to listen to us and just like be an asshole.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Huh? What?
Paul Dano was playing The Binding of Isaac.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Anyway, so she greeted us and Spooky is like, hello. We just talked to oh, that's probably not the best way to say it. We just
Well-
looked at the pestilence. Maybe you go
No.
first.
We were just at the House of the Rising Sun, and we paid
Yeah, the-
our respects to your husband. And
Thank you. I appreciate it. His untimely passing. It's been rough on us all.
yeah, while we were there, we
I can tell.
we saw the knife that was like frozen in and we helped them remove it so that he would not have to be buried with his murder weapon within him.
I have
I
it right here.
appreciate that. I appreciate that less.
She I'm trying to play up that she's creepy and she has bad social cues, so like
I appreciate that one. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was probably bad
yeah.
to say too. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It's okay. I
anyway.
appreciate the thought that counts.
Back to not creepy conversation. We were wondering if there was anything that you could tell us that might like help find the man who did this. We got a general like description and a idea of who it is based on that, but what why do you think that they went after your husband of all people? He seemed like a pretty all right guy. Nothing that worth like killing over.
I don't know. He just out of nowhere was attacked and killed. He had been apparently stalking him for a few days. My husband had said that he had felt like he'd been being watched for a few days, and we kind of wrote it off, and I feel terrible about that. But yeah,
No way you
we
could
don't
have
know the
known.
motive, right? But I don't know what the connection is.
Have you heard that apparently other people have mysteriously died in surrounding areas? Do you think it must be like it might have been just random or
I do not know. I mean, people do weird things.
understandable?
Your husband been anywhere he shouldn't have been lately?
him and his whores.
Was he out adventuring? Maybe at the bar, too late?
All right, I'll level with you. He's a good man. I promise, he's a good man.
God rest his soul.
But he was in the very slim drawing to be the human sacrifice on the next moon, and
Tranks.
the business is going not so well, and without him, I don't know that we can maintain it. But he tried, so he pulled his name from the drawing, and so that is about the sketchiest thing he's done. Other than that, he's a good man. He was doing it for the safety of our children and our family and the business itself.
Understandable.
This this is something that's been happening in every one of the 10 towns, right, including Lonelywood.
Correct. That is and that is the lead that Dead Mouse gave you, is that
Gotcha.
it's only been in towns that have human sacrifices, and he thinks that it is because of people removing names from their drawings.
Got it.
I understand. We used to talk about what would happen if my mother was drawn. She's the backbone of our business. You
How long
have
have this human sacrifices been going on?
This is actually fairly common practice in the 3 largest cities or towns, Bryn Shander, East Haven, and Targos. They do one at every new moon, and this has been. I mean, yeah. Any of you that are in familiar with the other 10 towns, because none of you are from those 3 towns, you would know that this is for as long as you can remember before your time. Like, it's just pretty common practice.
Donna's like, why would you sacrifice people? That's dumb.
I never lived in a place where human
Actually,
sacrifice
sorry.
was a thing.
Let me take that back. I remember now. Backstory. It's actually been since the everlasting winter has taken effect, so about 3 years.
Okay.
Okay.
It is.
But they've been making their sacrifices to basically
Auril?
convince Auril to release them from the everlasting winter. But every town makes a sacrifice of the sort. Some of them sacrifice heat, like they'll just turn off all their fires and stuff, and they'll deal with cold for that night. Some of them will do like animals. Some of them will do humans. They all have a sacrifice of sorts.
Right. Spooky says, for Xana's sake, Auril is the Frostmaiden. She is the goddess of winter, and when you live in a place such as this, where we see the cold for so long and so often, even if she is fickle and a very fearful figure, well, you tend to pay her respects anyway to make sure that she does not make your winter unlivable, you know?
No, because I've never experienced winter until now.
Oh,
But
it can be
that's-
it can be sort of comfortable. I like the snow.
seems cold.
Yep. That is all that you can sum it as.
Pestilence out here
so-
in like a fucking brassiere with like her just like an open midriff and everything. Like, yeah, it's cold.
Yeah, not everybody can be blessed like me. Well, cursed.
Shit sucks.
But,
deal.
So, would we know the name Sephet Caltro from the description?
Yeah, he gave it to us.
Yep.
Yeah,
Dead
yeah.
Mouse, you
So,
did it.
could we ask her if that name rings a bell?
Yeah, that's Torga's boy, her bodyguard. We've I don't want to say I've worked with them, but I mean the business we have is we have iron, like so we deliver that. So I haven't dealt with Torga and her caravan directly, but us delivering iron, you get to know the people that end up with your wares through one way or another. We go to the blacksmiths, they buy stuff from the blacksmiths, they take it to other towns and sell it, so on and so forth.
Would you know where their caravan is going to stops for a second? Be next?
I have ways to find out, but I don't know currently.
Ah. I believe we should go there.
Alright, so here's the deal. I can get you the information, but I need to be able to... I need basically my sled back to get to my contacts. See, we actually recently were attacked, and our sled is not that we had to leave it. There were a group of dwarves. We were delivering iron ingots to Brinchander. A Yeti surprised us and killed a member of our group named Ubuk. They tore him limb from limb. Now, if you can get the sled, bring it back here, we can definitely get to our contact, get the information through what little commerce connections exist in the 10 towns, and probably, maybe even make it worth your while financially to help you out. But that would be the first step. It's too treacherous for us to go back up there. Who knows if the Yeti is still up there.
So at this
Right.
point, I would like to know if I have to make a nature roll or whatever, so be it. But Are Yetis sentient? Do they have some sort of society, religion, yada yada yada? Are they people?
Okay, you've been up in the 10 town. Yeah, you're native. They are not. They are. Oh, they are still technically beasts.
I mean, like,
I would say they're closer to like uh primates, like they have like their family stuff, like like they'll still go within their group of yetis and stuff, and they have their pods, but they aren't necessarily like, hey, let's go talk to that yeti and talk. It's very much they're still animals, but they have family structure within it.
Okay, but back up 1 second. Did you just refer to a group of Yetis as a pod?
I don't know what you call like monkeys and gorillas, and like I can't remember what the pack.
To
No, it's not a
Google.
pack. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Like
what is a group of Yetis?
Gorillas live in groups called troops.
okay,
Yes.
so yeah, Yeti troops. Yeah.
Little Yeti families. I don't know.
Yetis are sort of scary.
Hey, you know.
So if you went up
I've
there
never met
with the
one.
sled, do we need snowshoes?
Yes, and we can fit you with that. We still have plenty of resources here in Black Iron Blades, so we can take care of that.
Yeah, I think we can handle it. Get a sled in the snow. I mean, it's nothing that we haven't done before. I mean, y'all have all been in the mountains, right?
Yes,
You've had to.
I actually prefer the forests, but I have been known to go to a cave or two for lichen or something.
I am a turtle, so no.
Well, I think you will like it. There are some ponds up there. The ponds are frozen, but they are still ponds.
They're bad, but not as bad as you think they are. I mean, they're mountains. The worst part is climbing, honestly.
There are a lot of ghosts in the mountains. A lot of people don't make it back.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
That is also true. Thank you for not proving my point.
You're welcome.
Okay. So, and he's gonna say, yeah, it's literally about halfway between here and Calvin's Cairn. Which those of you who are like around this area, especially past, it's not that far from Cair Koenig, is like the big mountain peak north of the 10 towns.
Oh yeah, Kelvin's. That's actually roughly that's near Mithril Hall, I believe. So that is roughly where Nyx was born. I think.
We're both going similar to where we were born.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the mountains.
Yeah, for sure. Spine of the world and whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, I guess for context, I'll throw you on the big map.
Ooh.
Nice.
Bryn Shander, the name disappeared, so that's that BS.
Yeah, this is Bryn Shander. It's very strange that you're losing stuff from the DM layer. It's odd.
I think what's happening is I'm kicking it to the map layer, and it's going behind the map. So I think it's still all there. It's just behind the map, so I'd have to get rid of the map to get it back over here.
Right. That makes sense. Okay, so we are going to go retrieve that their sled.
Yeah. And yeah, he said it's about halfway, so you're probably looking here-ish between Tourmaline and Cardinaval.
Okay, yeah, I could see about right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. And so she says, yeah. And so she grabs some extra sets of snowshoes for all of you, which mechanically will actually double your travel speed.
Nice.
The way that it works is 1/4 mile per hour on foot without snowshoes and 1/2 mile per hour on foot with snowshoes.
Okay.
Damn.
Some good old, just put some tennis rackets on her feet. Got it.
And she says, yeah, so if you can get that sled back to us, we will make our way down to our contact and get that information to you as to where they're heading.
Okay, we will do our very best for you.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I have to get back on the Brinchander page.
Oh, you're good, dude.
Okay. So yeah, and she says, but we're gonna try to. Oh, sorry. We're gonna try to salvage whatever we can and try to make a little bit of coin here in Black Iron while we still can. So if you need us, we'll be trying to salvage what we can in here.
My family doesn't typically have much use for iron, but if you ever find yourself in Lonelywood, then make sure to talk to Inyari Chemestra. She's the owner of the Chemestra Alchemical Goods and Services. She may be able to help you with something. My brothers and sisters liked working at the shop a lot better than I did. They like helping people.
Alright, fair enough, I appreciate it.
Sonda says, metal makes my skin itch.
And that's when we found out that he was actually a fiend this entire time, and it's actually a weakness to cold iron that he has.
Hey.
I mean,
Spoilers.
I'm gonna take fucking snowshoes and shit. Like,
Oh, hell yeah. Of course.
Oh yeah, the snowshoes, yeah.
they'll say like, y'all gonna pass up some snowshoes? Like,
I'm just not putting on, like, I'm not buying weapons
Yeah.
and stuff.
Right.
No
In
armor.
this, it literally says like to advise you to buy snowshoes, but they literally cost 3 copper pieces, and I'm just like, I ain't dealing with fucking copper. Like,
we buy snowshoes in canon, but in practice, we're not breaking apart the gold pieces right now. That's not
right?
Yeah, for sure. Then yeah, I mean, if that's the only thing I'm thinking about is like, if it's been snowing for a long time, being 3 feet tall, snowshoes notwithstanding, is going to be kind of an issue. But if necessary, just put her on back of a big feller and just let her ride on top.
I mean,
She
you'll
can sit
probably
on
not
the
sink
Zombie.
that bad, so
Yeah,
She
maybe.
can sit on Zama's shell.
Oh yeah, she can. Yeah, you're all big motherfucker. Well, I mean, Pestilence isn't big, but
no.
she's like it's still got 2 feet on Nyx.
Yeah, no. Pestilence is 5'5" with platform shoes. Honey's not very big.
Okay, it's just a little bit of time out in the snow filled with potentially dangerous yetis. I'm sure we will be fine.
Yeah, well, look a bit. Mountains, whatever.
Do you do this a lot? I thought you were a musician.
Yeah, but like, I grew up here.
I suppose that is fair. I always went to the forest instead. The spirits in the forest are usually more playful. They die less violent deaths.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're-
Let's go.
You're welcome.
Spooky is 100% under the impression that everything she says is interesting to other people.
I mean, we're not about to burst your bubble because then we'd have to explain why it's not interesting and it's just not going to go anywhere.
I mean, she know. I mean, I should go back on that. It's not that because she knows that what she likes is she knows that what she's into and what she likes is like creepy and scary to some people, but at the same time she's like still gonna speak her mind on it because she believes it has relevance regardless of if it doesn't or not.
Gotcha. So y'all making your way up into the mountains?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will kick you.
Kick you out of the game.
Well, let me make sure it's okay. I was making sure I had the fog turned on.
Game is
All
over.
right.
No more playing.
This one, they did not have a
That's
map
common
for us.
problem.
So I had to make it, and I did it as bare bones as possible. So
Yep.
This is a long boy.
that's the way.
Welcome to
All right.
my life.
A blizzard descends upon you, reducing the visibility to 20 feet. Kelvin's car vanishes from view as the blowing snow and howling wind engulf you. Let me do this real quick. I'm like the least surreptitious,
Thank you.
like at rolling possible. Like secret roll, don't tell anybody.
I gotta tell you, I just accidentally turned on the text-to-speech where it starts like reading everything on the screen, and I thought it was Emily reading everything off the screen.
Saying that she has a
I'm
robot
very
voice.
glad that I have
the
enough of a
fuck?
monotone.
I was like, "What the fuck are you doing, Emily?"
Sitting.
Homeboy saying that you have a robot voice.
I've always known my voice is a bit of a monotone, okay?
I think she just has the same like inflection that you do.
Yeah.
Ah,
I had
they
to
stole my voice.
I had to look up surreptitious because I had no idea what that word meant. But yeah, okay, I get it.
It's fergalicious and syrup.
Fergalicious deaf.
Def.
Okay. So
Yeah,
as Big Feller like ties the rope and passes it, is everybody taking it?
Yes, and
Yeah, we'll get so fucking lost.
Nyx is going to stay in the middle of the pack, so that the people who are capable of taking more than one light wind to the face can do that instead of her.
Yep. And the chewinga up in Big Feller's hair, where it has been using it kind of as reins, just kind of wraps it around and almost seatbelts himself in with it.
I love Chumbawamba
Dude.
so much.
Big feller has braids, so he can like nestle himself right into the braid if he wants.
Okay, it'll do that. But yeah, so I need a survival check from Big Feller since he's the one leading with this rope.
The chewinga's now braided into my fucking hair.
I like your barrette.
The chewinga does.
There's the
chewing-
fucking decent
The
roll.
chewinga does an imaginary hair flip.
Oh my god, quickly dethroning Zoblob is my favorite NPC.
It's Clicky all over again.
Yeah, but
this
like...
is Isaac getting back at me for not making Clicky a permanent party member.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of mad at you for that too, to be fair. I
So
love Chumbawamba.
I'm going to basically, like I said, you can only see 20 feet in front of you at a time, but I'm going to go ahead and reveal pretty much everything relevant as you move forward because you passed, you didn't get lost. So as you approach further up, you crest a snow-covered ridge and you see a frozen, dismembered corpse in the gully in front of you. Snow covers some of the gory bits, but the headless torso and severed limbs are visible. You see tracks in the snow all around the corpse, and the telltale grooves in the snow left behind by a sled that has been hauled away.
I think we should follow those tracks.
Okay. If you choose.
Are there? So, do the tracks all lead in the same direction, or do some kind of branch off?
They all do head, for the lack of better terms, north based on this map. They all travel together.
Okay, just making sure there's not any that like loop around or double back or any bullshit. Okay, cool.
These footsteps, people footsteps, or like Yeti footsteps?
Give me a wisdom survival check.
QQ, do I get advantage?
I'm pretty
Can
sure
I
these are
make
going to
this
be
check
Yeti
as
ones.
well?
I have favored enemy humans and orcs, so do I get advantage or no? That alone would suggest it's not human.
I'm gonna say for the survival check it is going to be a no. An investigation check, I would give pestilence advantage.
I
But the
rolled
survival
an
would be straight.
18 on survival.
All right. So can
Okay.
I roll? Can I roll an investigation?
Yeah. Okay. Between your survival and your investigation, these are all small humanoids wearing snowshoes. There are the sled tracks. as well as two sets of bear tracks.
They're barely visible.
And
So-
Zana triggers the ambush.
Well, I mean, with that, you're good. So, I'll just go ahead and reveal the next little bit. You can only see 20 feet at a time, but you can see this initially when you get, like, here-ish. Or, sorry, let me make sure I'm on the right layer. Again, I am not. When you get, like, here-ish, technically you'd be able to see that, but there's nothing in between there, so...
Fucking polar bears.
just walk
good.
So, this is not the sled you're looking for. This is very much like the Goblin Caravan Wagon. Like it's... Let me see if it has this art, actually, so I can... it probably does. There's art for everything in here. Open up Princhander. There's the quest. Oh, yep, here we go. Kabam.
Bam.
This is what you see.
Oh, cute.
Cool. Big fella's gonna whisper yell to the next person, like immediately behind him. I see a bear.
Oh, bear.
Oh, I
I
don't
wonder
think
if
we
it's
should bother
friendly.
them.
No, they will eat me.
It looks like it's pulling something.
And then also using Zana's survival roll, for a brief second, you can't quite make it out like entirely, but you can tell that like you did get a glimpse of the sled that you're looking for further up, about the same amount of distance you came from back here to this sled or this wagon. The sled is about that much further north. But you still like it's one of those things that like you get a brief break in the snow and then the blizzard just picks back up and the wind blows it and you lose sight of it. But you did catch sight. Zana did enough to know that it's up there.
Flint goes. I think we should probably keep out of sight of the goblin sled and just keep going forward until we find the sled that we're looking for. Because we don't need to bother these guys in the middle of a snowstorm. We just need to get that sled and get out.
So you say, but then Big Feller will stride to within talking distance of the polar bear and say, "Hello, friend. Have you seen a sled around here?"
Oh no.
All right. So the goblin boss is going to bust out.
I don't give a shit about the goblin boss. I'm talking to the bear.
Oh, the goblin boss sees you and it blows its horn, and we're gonna roll for initiative.
Oh, fuck.
At
You're welcome.
10:28.
It is good. It is a little late.
This is pretty much it. So, I mean, we
Do-
could do this initiative and then kind of leave it at a cliffhanger, and then you can meet back up with your contact. Or, I mean, guess if you really wanted to, if it was too late, we could call it here. But this initiative is a decent stopping point.
Well, I rolled.
I'd say we stop here because it is 11:30 over here, and I am tired.
Okay, I'm
That's
fine with
fair.
that.
Oh man, fucking 3. Good. Fantastic. Oh, what a
Okay.
what a good way to start off. All right. Well, that was cool. That was nice, dude. It's a good first. That was I like the amount of opportunities we had for role playing and talking, like just straight up, like off the bat. That was really nice. It's nice to just do the talky bits of D&D sometimes. I have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah. No, I think this is a good party comp. It's kind of an interesting start because a lot of it is here's what you got to figure out how to get them to, because literally in each town it just gives you, because you have your 2 starting quests, which is like can take place in any town, and that's the Chewinga and the Sefik quest.
Right.
Which you can use 1, both, none, whatever. But those are your, whatever. And then each town has typically one, at least, well, they all have at least one. Some of them have multiple quests that you just kind of find throughout the town, and this is the like one of those quests.
Right.
But that's literally all it gives you. It doesn't give you a way to tie it in. It doesn't give you, like, it gives you people that can introduce it, and they give you some of the NPCs. But it doesn't really give you a lot to, like, it's very, very open.
Yeah.
It plays a lot like I said, like video game RPGs, where you walk in a town, walk around, and you just, like, kind of click on everybody to find your quests.
Yeah, and we got fucking Deadmau5 and Vetiator out of it, so I think we in Chumbawamba of all people, so I think we've won. I think we've succeeded.
It's good shit. Thank you for the
Fantastic
session.
Batman.
I'm going to bed.
Good night, buddy.
Nighty
Yeah,
night.
good night.
Yeah, no, thank you for DMing, bud. I'm really excited for the rest of this. This is a very good start. Playing Spooky again is really fun. I like it.
Thank you for playing.
Yeah, of course. I really, really like the party dynamic here. I think I will also scoot. Stream ending would also probably